All good. That's right.
Welcome here to University Oval number 1. I am the wise man, Matt Mears, and thank you very much for tuning in to our live coverage here of the Thunder Conference Final between Sydney University and Blacktown Mounties. Whether you're listening here on Triple H 100.1 FM on our sports stream, sports.triplehfm.com.au, or through Frogbox, we welcome you here to what isn't going to be an absolute cracking game this afternoon. You've got the big dogs, the heavyweights, Sydney University against the underdog story. The team coming up from the bottom, they're going to have that fairy tale run. The Blacktown Mounties, can they do it again? It is going to be one of those games that you will not want to turn off until we have its conclusion in about 3 or so hours' time. I am joined in the commentary box by our usual Triple H Sports commentary team. First off, Kiwi Mick Reinish. Kiwi, great to have you here today.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a beautiful day here. 28 degrees in Sydney town, so sensational weather here. It's good to be back after a 3-week freshen up. I've lost about 5 kgs. Normally I've put on 10 kgs in that time, so, well, I feel like a different man. It's good to be back.
Mate, well, 2023, mate, we thought 2022 was a big one for us here at Triple H Sport. 2023 I know is going to be even bigger, so good to know that you're getting the year off to such a great start. Also joining us today, the Hat Rack Shane Evans back in the commentary box with us. Shane, mate, great to have you here on a beautiful summer's Sunday afternoon here at University Oval number 1.
Well, good afternoon, Measy. Good afternoon, Kiwi. First of all, Happy New Year to all our listeners and to yourselves. Hopefully we've all been good over the Christmas break. Yeah, looking forward to this game. Obviously, the second grade was played here yesterday in the New South Wales Premier Cricket Competition between Sydney Uni and St George. Unfortunately, the results didn't go the way of the home side Uni. The first grade side went out to Hurstville and, safe to say, were comprehensively beaten by 10 wickets by a St George side on Hurstville Oval, being rolled for 96 and St George chasing a none down for 97. But yeah, pitch looks absolute belter. It's nice and white, a little bit of green,
Yeah,
just in the middle of it.
Yeah,
so.
there's some green patches in parts and some bare patches in others, which if you are tuning through Frogbox, you'll be able to see those. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays. Maybe you might play a little bit up and down from one end, but I'm sure both experienced teams here will be able to handle that. Kiwi Mick was down talking to the scorers, talking to the umpires. He's got the 2 team lists with him, mate. Why don't you go through those and let us know who's been selected?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, Blacktown Mounties have won the toss and will be batting first in this Thunder final. So the Sydney University side, Tim Cummins is their captain, Charlie Duma, Jordan Gauchi, Dylan Hunter, Hugo Akita, Charles Litchfield, Salem Maladay, Devlin Malone, Ryan McElduff, Damien Mortimer, Kieran Tate, and Daniel Gauchi.
Yeah, so big losses there. Obviously, Hayden Kerr with the Sixers, Nick Larkin with the Melbourne Stars. They're 2 of their big powerhouses. But we said before Christmas, when we were here last Kiwi Meet, we saw this team get the job done against Penrith. So I'm sure they're going to be up for a big one today. But the fairy tale story, the Blacktown Mounties, how are they lining up for us today?
Absolutely. Their team is Jack Blatherwick, Benjamin Butler, Matthew Day, who'll be opening the batting with Giovanni Di Bartolo. Interesting name, that one.
Johnny Di Bartolo is the better pronunciation.
Okay. You learn something every day, don't you? Gaurav Dogra, Puru Gore, Jeremy Noonan, Smeet Raval, Encore Singh, who got 97 in their semi-final win against Bankstown, Nathan Sauder, and Wakas Terrain.
Yeah, another team that might not have the results quite on the board in the Belvedere Cup, the first grade competition here on Saturdays, but certainly been getting the job done in this T20 competition, Shane Evans. And while the Sydney University side, they're obviously going to be the favourites here with how much experience they have with and how many times they've made these competition finals before, but as we saw with the University of New South Wales Bumblebees a couple of years ago, you can never really put the fairy tale story or the underdog team into the back of your mind, because, as I said, anything can happen in these 40 overs.
It definitely can. You just got to go back to looking at the grand final here that we were calling only 10 or 11 months ago, where before the game, I think all of us basically said Sydney Uni will win this. They're at home. They're going to do it comfortably against a very good Renwick Petersham side with Daniel Sams, who we would find out during that day had been picked to go into the Australian squad on short notice. But yeah, the Randy Peets end up winning the title on it. Same with Blacktown Mounties. Okay, yeah, they're not doing the best as a club in general, but they are. But these are the type of games that they do get up for, so wouldn't surprise me that they do cause an upset. I'm still going to go for Uni, but I don't think it's going to be as clear-cut as everyone's expecting. Just a little bit of background on Johnny Giovanni, or Giovanni, as he actually is named properly in the team sheet. Has been playing indoor cricket at the Liverpool Indoor Sports Centre for about probably close to 20 years now. Same centre I used to umpire at and play as a youngster coming through the setup. Originally coming through the Southern Districts Sydney Shires team, and then moved up obviously when Blacktown District Cricket Club and the Mounties Southern District side joined together. So yeah, look out for him. He did retire technically last year, but decided to come back just for one more year to help out, get some of these younger guys through. But he's a good opening bat. He can score runs, can score them quickly. But luckily enough, we're high enough up here in the main grandstand that if he does decide to launch a 6 straight, we should be fine.
Just quickly, Matt Mears, an interesting observation as I was going for my 3 laps at Primrose Park today. Both teams in their semi-finals in the Thunder Conference batted first and won easily. So, is this a big toss to win for Blacktown Mounties?
Well, runs on the board in any type of finals game in a knockout situation always, I think, is the way to go. So, as I said, if Sydney University are going to get up, they are certainly going to do it the hard way. But as I said, if you're watching on Frogbox, you can see that the umpires and players are making their way out onto the field. If you are just joining us, thank you to listening for our coverage here of the Sydney Thunder Conference Final between Blacktown Mounties and the home side Sydney University here on Triple H 100.1 FM, the Triple H Sports Stream, sports.triplehfm.com.au, and on the New South Wales Cricket Frogbox. And to take you through the first 5 overs here from University Oval, it will be Kiwi Mick Reinish.
Thank you very much, Matt Mears. Yes, so we're about to get started here in the Thunder Conference Final. Blacktown Mounties batting first. Sydney University on their home patch. A good crowd has built here. Around about 28 degrees. Grandstand that we're broadcasting from has filled up quite nicely. And, of course, it will be Di Bartolo and Matthew Day opening the batting. Di Bartolo will be on strike first. It will be Seelan Maladay to open the bowling. Di Bartolo, a right-handed batter. And just remembering Blacktown Mounties getting 4 for 214 in their semi-final win against Bankstown, and Di Bartolo got 68 of those runs. And of course, Encore Singh getting 97, so they can really explode with the bat in this format. We're all ready to go. Here's the umpire signals to the scorers. And a slow clap from the crowd begins on ball 1. Everyone's in the mood for a bit of cricket after 3 weeks off of the T20 competition in this format. And a nice crowd building here as we speak. As Di Bartolo has a bit of a look around here at the field placings. And here we go. So Maladay to run in, the right arm bowler now. Right arm over. Bowls, and it's sliced away backward a point. Great fielding there. He'll save definitely what could have been a 4. They will pick up a single though. 1 ball gone, no wicket for 1.
Just a nice cut, just a nice stop there in the cover. Had to be fully stretched out there at point, because if he doesn't stop that, then there's at least a couple. Obviously, there was a gentleman way out in the sweeper roll on the fence, furthest away from where we are at the moment. But yeah, great stop there by the fielder there. But it's always good to get off the mark on the first ball of the innings.
Certainly is. First ball of a final as well. Here goes Matthew Day on strike. this one. Oh, he swivels around. This is going to be 4. So a great shot here, flicking it off his pads behind square. Did it with ease. He drops a bit short there, Maladay. Good start here for Blacktown Mounties. They want to really set the tone being the away team in this final.
Yeah, they certainly do, but yeah, probably just a little bit straight there from Maladay. Probably wanted to have that a bit more outside off stump where he's got the man back at third man and fielders up inside the circle.
Here goes Maladay again. Oh, and this is an absolute ripper outside the off stump, jagging away from the straight line. Great ball there by Maladay. Bit of bounce as well.
Yeah, so this pitch does look like a belter here, almost in the centre wicket of the block here at University Oval number 1, but it is a bit bare in that little patch where he pitched that one, so it might just pop up a little bit more.
Maladay again today. He's gone for it and he's found the gap. He didn't quite get it. He should pick up a couple here as he smashes it through the covers area. Well, not really smashing. He didn't quite time it, but anyway, he will pick up a couple. Just getting the cobwebs away after 3 weeks off. So no wicket for 7 here in the first over.
Just slightly mistimed that. Probably a little bit high on the back, closer to the stickers there than what he would have wanted. But if that was out of the screws, as we normally would call it, that would be rolling down there to the service road.
So Day on strike again, swinging a miss outside the off stump, goes underneath the bat, through to the keeper and captain, of course, and Tim Cummins.
Yeah,
1 ball left in the first.
That again in that little bit of a bare patch that's outside the right-handers off stump. It's going to do a few little things there. We saw a couple jump up, but a few also might keep low. So, as I said, even with the batter in this sort of form, they're going to have to watch out for that.
Again, last ball of the over. Oh, he's nearly played it on here. It just missed the stumps, the inside edge. So after 1 over here in the Thunder Conference final, Blacktown Mounties, no wicket for 7.
The one thing we'll also keep all you listeners up to date with today, will obviously the men's Big Bash is currently in progress. There is the game down at Hobart currently between the Sydney Thunder and the Hobart Hurricanes, but also we'll keep you abreast of the game in the Sixers Conference final for the Kingsgrove T20, which is between Gordon and the Sydney Tigers. So we'll keep you up to date with scores on that. If anyone normally likes to listen to us to get scores from the Women's Premier Cricket, please check either the My Cricket app or Play HQ for those, as we'll be predominantly focusing on the 2 men's games and the Big Bash.
So Hugo Akita, who's a bit of a crowd favourite. When we were here 3 weeks ago in that semi-final, the crowd really got behind Hugo Akita, up-and-comer in this Sydney University setup. It will be Di Bartolo on strike. So everyone just warms into this match. Here he comes now, the right armour in Akita. Bowls and he's played it onto his stumps. He's gone. A wicket straight away for Akita, and the crowd loves that one here at University Oval. It was probably there to hit, but he again didn't time it, and Di Bartolo is gone for 1.
Yeah, it didn't kick up like we saw some of those other ones did in the previous over, did it, Shane? And just got that under edge of the bat as he tried to swivel it around onto the leg side, and a great breakthrough there for the students. An early wicket they needed here in this final.
Definitely. Looks like Akita bowled it slightly slower and short of a length, and Johnny's tried to pull it through the covers, and unfortunately it's just hit the toe of the bat and dragged it back onto the base of middle stump, unfortunately. But we can now see that the next batter coming in Singh to face this ball. So, but yeah, it is well bowled, because that the end of the pitch, which if you come here for normal sports, for rugby union or for soccer, it's got a bit more green tinge to it than the grandstand half of the wicket they're using today. So it may have just held up a little bit as well.
Yep. So it will be Akita now to bowl to Encore Singh, who got 97 in Blacktown Mounties semi-final win against Bankstown. So if you ever wanted to come in with a bit of form in this format, you can't get much better than 97 in a 2020. Very hard to get 100, so that's a superb effort. He's a right-handed batsman, but Hugo Akita, the crowd favourite here, getting a wicket off his first ball. He runs in now. Singh on strike, bit of a slow one, a wide down the leg side there, so it's 1 for 8 here in the second over.
Let's get a little bit of swing on that one. I think he was just trying to get it into the pads, but a little bit of wind here at University Oval number 1 today, sort of coming sort of coming left to right across your radio dial, or west to east if you're in the grandstand like we are in our commentary position.
Akita again now to Singh. Oh, and that's a cracking shot, but he has got him. What a catch there at point. That was almost like Steve Smith there, right just above the ground. I thought it was going to rocket away for 4, but that's sensational fielding here by Sydney University. And the danger man in-course Singh is gone for a duck, Matt Mears, and it's 2 for 8.
Yeah, I said a huge wicket there for the students. It took a bit of the juggle in the gully there. I don't know if it was, looking at it live, it looked like it could have touched the ground, but everybody on the field was more than happy to take the catch of the claim. But some great fielding there, Shane Evans, almost Cameron Green-esque.
It definitely was there, but you could see that. You could see the batters did have a look at the 2 umpires. Obviously, Daniel Moran, who's at the end closest to the grandstand where we're calling from, and also the number 2 person in the title cricket in New South Wales, the other umpire, Beej Sajewicz, who was standing at square, and he was more than happy to give Daniel the hands up signal to say that it was caught. But we can now see that Dogra has come in, so this could be interesting.
So Akita here has come out absolutely blazing. And it's right, he's on a hat-trick, isn't he? I know there's a wide in between. So this one again beats him outside the off stump. Hugo Akita has got it on a string here. Sensational fielding there by Sydney University to get rid of Singh, the danger man, for a duck coming off that 97. So Sydney University here, what a great start at home.
Oh, you couldn't ask for a better start in a final like this, particularly knowing what Blacktown Mounties did in their conference semi-final to have the danger man gone for a duck. Brilliant stuff.
Akita again. Oh, and he's beaten him outside the off stump. Reaching at that one was Gaurav Dogra and didn't even get near it. So he's just moving it around a bit off the seam and a bit of swing here. This is impressive stuff.
Yeah, nervous shot that one. I don't think it was in any of Blacktown Mounties' plans to be 2 for 8 in the second over, but they said just need to rebuild now here. They said he's still in the power play, lots of gaps, so they need to keep that scoreboard ticking along.
Here goes Akita again. Oh, and that's a nice straight one this time, but just nicely pushed down the ground straight to the fielder there at mid-off. So 2 for 8 here, 1 ball left in the second. Sydney University really wanting to try and shut Blacktown Mounties down early. Of course, they got 214 in their semi-final. That was their team total batting first. Sydney University trying to shut them out of the game early. Here goes Akita again. Oh, and this is a beautiful shot over backward point. It might reach the fence, but the fielder's going to race around and regather. They will pick up a couple. Dogra is off the mark. The crowd applauding the fielding. The throw in from the boundary, and after 2 overs, it's 2 for 10.
What leads? I'm starting to think, because obviously the noise that everyone can hear in the background is the fellow uni supporters and lower grade players. I haven't heard the name Akita before in this competition.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago he bowled well in their semi-final win against Penrith. Might have been his first game.
Yeah, because I was going to say this might be his first home game as in this side, because obviously, as you know, you have to work hard in order to progress into a first grade competition side at any club. You just don't get it. You have to earn your spot. So they might have actually given him his cap to him officially today, because we did see a big group meeting and someone being handed their initial uni cap. So
here goes Melody again today, and he's absolutely smoked this one, and he'll pick up half a dozen. That'll be 6 runs. A beautiful shot there, again just slicing it over backward point. Brilliant batting there by Matthew Day. They need it here, do Blacktown Mounties. Eventually the umpire signals the 6. And, wow, he really opened up the arms that time.
And you think about it, that's actually not a bad shot when you think about it. It's a fairly decent breeze. That's blowing from against that type of shot where we're sitting in the grandstand, it's obviously coming over our right shoulder to left.
Melody again. Oh, and that's a nice ball. Good bounce there. Really had a big swing again, Day, but beaten outside the off stump through to the keeper.
I don't think he's here for a long time. He's here for a good time. Doesn't matter that they're 2 wickets down here in the power play. If the ball's there to hit, he wants to make sure it gets hit. But I think that's the right way they need to play. They need to keep the pressure on the students. They need to make sure they keep that run rate ticking over.
Maladay again. This time Day will just punch it down the ground. He's taken on the fielder, and if he hit the stumps, he was gone. Pushing it there to mid-off. A little bit slow there between the wickets, but he'll get home. 2 for 17 here, Blacktown Mounties in the third over.
Perfectly picked up on the frog box camera there, just watching the feed come through. But I said, good bit of pressure in the field there, but I don't think Matt Day anything was going to stop him trying to make his ground at that non-striker's end.
So Maladay will go again, just mistiming that run initially. So he'll bowl now to Dogra. Right-handed batter, of course. And again, he's beaten outside the off stump. So Sydney University here really getting some good heat on these balls. Some good pace and bounce here outside the off stump, getting the Blacktown Mounties batters fishing at the ball.
Just a quick score update from the Sydney Sixers conference final. Gordon taking on Sydney out at Chatswood. Sydney won the toss, batting first, 2 overs in, then none for 8.
Again, Maladay, that's a shocking ball down the leg side. Almost off the pitch there, signalled wide by the umpire.
Great stop there by Captain Tim Cummins as well, who's he's got up, feeling a little bit ginger in that right leg of his as well. So I'm just hoping that's just where he might have planted the knee into the surface.
Of course, brother of Pat Cummins, the Australian Test captain.
He's off at the moment. We might find him around here somewhere today.
Yeah. Oh, this is a nice ball. He squared him up. And I don't know what Maladay's appealing there.
I don't think you can do LBW after the fact.
Yeah.
No, it would be classed as obstruction of the field.
You can't blame it on World Cup fatigue anymore too, can you? The soccer's gone.
No, because but the thing is you can, but if the bowler does choose to try and throw the stumps down thinking the batter is out of the crease, if you move into the line of the ball, you can be given out obstruction of the field if they believe it's intentional.
And Dogra this time slices it behind point. He'll get past that fielder. He will pick up 1, but no chance of a second as the fielder retrieves that close to the boundary. So 3 overs gone here in this Thunder Conference final. And Blacktown Mounties 2 for 19.
Well, where do you go? Like, obviously the Blacktown Mounties are used to having both Di Bartolo and Singh going through and scoring some good runs for them that they have so far in the whole competition. But now it's up to Matt Day and the rest of the side to make up for those 2 fails to get them through here. Speaking to a couple of the guys from both of the clubs here, they're saying a par should be probably around about the 170 to 180 as a minimum for this pitch. Obviously, as I said, we had second grade here yesterday in a one-day competition with scores of 194 and 197. Okay, that's 50 overs, but obviously you have more time to build into anything. So, yeah, about the 160 to 180 as an absolute minimum.
Kieran Tate now to bowl his first ball. Pushed into the onside. A little bit awkward looking shot there by Dogra. He will pick up a single. Kieran Tate, right arm, medium fast with a pretty reasonable run up as well. 2 for 20 here in the 4th over. Blacktown Mounties.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it squared up Dogra, and he had a bit of difficulty there trying to keep that out. He was expecting it to be more a mid to off stump line, and it's managed to jag back into middle and leg and almost cut him in half. Was able just to get enough bat on it to push it up for that single.
So Matthew Day on strike. He's on 13, shaping as a key man now. And that's definitely a wide outside the off stump. So not quite getting the radar right there this time, Kieran Tate.
But as we did say before, there is a definite breeze here. You can hear it, obviously, through our effects mic, and if you're watching it on the Sydney Uni Frog Box, you'll be able to hear it through their microphone as well. What's it like down on ground level? It could probably be a little bit less, but still the radar's not fully lined up yet.
So Tate again today. And again, that's a wide outside the off stump. So it's a little bit sloppy here with a couple of deliveries. Sydney University, 2 for 22 in the 4th over. Blacktown Mounties, of course, the winner of this will take out the Thunder Conference final, and the competition grand final, Shane, will be next Sunday in a week's time as well. Of course, the winner of this will take on the winner of the Gordon v Sydney Tigers match. So here goes Tate again. And this time it's all good. Swing and a miss outside the off stump. Normally Tate definitely bowls a little bit straighter than this. Just trying to get that radar going.
Yeah, as I said, but that wind down there is probably affecting a few of them. I know lots of players that aren't at the grade level have only just come back into their park competitions yesterday, especially in the Manly competition where I umpire in, and I think over the whole of first grade there was something like 62 wides.
Oh, and he's nearly played it on again, Dogra. So they're having a bit of trouble with their timing here, Blacktown Mounties. That was so close to the off stump, the inside edge, through to the keeper. Playing with fire here, Blacktown Mounties. They've got quite a strong top order, but if they lose a few wickets, could be a Sydney University might nail it here, but you never know.
You can see Matty Day's got that 1 in 10. I want to hit, and I want to hit runs whilst this power play's on.
Again now Tate. And this time he goes down the ground. One bounce to the fielder at mid-off. Fires it into the keeper. No run.
Just quickly back over to the game out at Chatswood, which is the Sixers conference final between Gordon and Sydney that you just mentioned before, Kiwi. Coming up to the end of the third over. Sydney are none for 15. They won the toss and decided to bat first, thinking the same as Blacktown Mounties. Runs on the board in a final is a good thing.
So Tate again. And this time he goes to cow corner. One bounce, two bounce, rolling towards the rope. And it's pulled in. Brilliant fielding on the boundary there by McElduff. And eventually they'll fire it in. So eventually he gets it past the infield, does Day. He moves on to 15. He picks up a couple with that one. 2 for 24 in the fourth.
That wasn't even middled either, but it's still, you can see, still rocketed out to a couple of feet short of the field, but McElduff was able just to be able to swipe it back in just in time to stop the boundary.
So Tate again to Day, and he drives it through the covers, and that'll be 4. Beautiful shot there by Matthew Day, knowing he's a key man here in this innings with a couple of wickets down. He moves on to 19 with a beautiful shot. And after 4 overs, Blacktown Mounties 2 for 28.
Well, you talk about hitting the ball out of the screws. That sounded like it was flush out of the middle there. Landed only about probably 5 or 10 feet short of the boundaries here, especially out here at Uni Oval 1. If anyone that's been here before, you obviously know, you're looking about probably 65, 68 metres straight. And because we're playing on true centre, it's about 75 to 80 squares. And then obviously going into those corner pockets, you're probably looking closer to 90 metres. So it was a good hit, being able to help use that wind also to push it across a bit.
Hugo Akita switches ends. Had a great first over. Runs in and bowls now to Dogra. Oh, driven beautifully here through the covers again. They'll definitely pick up a couple, you would think, as it's fielded on the boundary. Pretty comfortable 2 runs there. Akita off his first over was actually 1 over, 2 wickets and 3 runs. So a brilliant start for him as he switches ends now.
Yeah, because I think they're going to allow for the wind blowing across to try and curl it into your right-handers.
Again, Dogra on strike. Flicks it off the pads now. They'll take on the fielder, and they'll get home pretty comfortably, just hitting it on the 45-degree angle this time. Score moves through to 2 for 31 here, Blacktown Mounties in the 5th over.
Almost looks like Akita there tried to pitch it into the body, but landed a little bit short, so Dogra was able just to tuck it off the hip and get that easy single there to the 45.
Matthew Day on strike now on 19. And it's definitely a wide down the leg side. Again, Cummins did well there, Shane, to save a 4, really.
He definitely has to. You have to look at it from behind the batting crease. You've got your 45, you've got a backward point, Tim Cummins the keeper, and then you've got a third man and a sweeper roll out on the fence in front of the main uni building here.
So again, Akita. Slower ball, smashed here for 4. That's a beautiful shot through the offside. Crowd loving it here. The Blacktown Mounties fans have travelled from the west to Sydney University Oval, and he moves through to 23 now, Matthew Day, so this is better stuff, and 2 for 36 here in the fifth.
It was that good a shot. The two fielders there at cover and mid-on just watched it go straight past, did not move a muscle.
Split the gap, didn't it? Great shot.
Hit it so sweetly, and it's like, oh, the ball's on the fence already. We better chase it.
So Akita. Oh, and he's gone for a big edge. He will be safe. Will it be 4? No, it'll be cut off on the fence here by Kieran Tate. And I think they only managed to get 1 run out of all of that. So maybe could have got a couple, but sharp fielding by Tate on the boundary.
Definitely was there, but you can also see where Tate's actually come a lot finer now. Instead of being that wide third man, he's come in. So he's only about probably 20 metres behind the stumps there. So
here goes Akita to Dogra. He's on 7. This one just blocked at his feet, and he will pick up a cheeky little single. Nice stuff there, rotating the strike. Better over here for Blacktown Mounties. 2 for 38, 1 left in the fifth.
Definitely is there, but that's poor fielding from Akita. Obviously, as soon as you bowl the ball, what's the first thing you're trying to do if you see the ball and they're thinking about running? Get back to your stumps. He basically stuck in the middle of the pitch and didn't do anything.
Day on strike on 24, the right-hander. Again, a wide down the leg side. Umpire signals so. So there's been, how many wides would we say in this innings so far? Let's have a look. We'll have to...
I haven't got that screen information in front of me, but
yeah,
I'm going to say there'll be at least 6 or 7 out of it.
Yeah, 7?
6.
6. I don't like saying that word with my accent. First stroke of the day. Yeah. Oh, and this is a massive shot down the ground. Through the onside, straight. And he will pick up a couple of runs as they jog between the wickets here to complete the 2. So after 5 overs here in this Thunder Conference final, Blacktown Mounties are 2 for 41. Over to you, Matt Mears.
Well, mate, thanks, Kiwi Mick. Great first 5 overs from yourself. I'm going to feel on my game to make sure I keep up with that. But yeah, if you're just tuning in here, Triple H Sports live and exclusive coverage here of the Thunder Conference final between Sydney Uni and Blacktown Mounties here on Triple H 100.1 FM on our sports stream, sports.triplehfm.com.au and Frogbox. Yes, we're here on the Cricket New South Wales YouTube channel as well through Frogbox. It looks like Kieran Tate will continue here for over number 6 from the grandstand end here at University Oval, and that was just played out into the offside by Dogra. Close there. They are right in their luck here, the two Blacktown Mounties batsmen, aren't they, Shane Evans? But they are home yet again with that quick single.
They definitely are. They're just able to get through very quickly. Obviously, they're trying to get as many runs as they can in the power play. It's not like the Big Bash where you have a 4 over and the 2 over surge later. It's all power play for that first 6 overs straight up front. So you're going to make the best of what you can at the moment. But I know some people are probably trying to get some scores from the other game out at Chatswood Oval. We'll try and keep us updated through that, because at the moment, the broadcast isn't working.
Well, we get the next delivery here, and Data smashes this one through the leg side. And there is a fielder out there at deep square leg, so it will only pick up a single. So you're telling me the big KO actual live coverage, nothing to be seen. But
no,
we're live and exclusive here on Frogbox, on radio. It's good to see that we can bring you some live cricket coverage for your Sunday afternoon. We'll try and get you some scores from that game in a moment as Tate comes in again to Dogra, and a beautiful cover drive. It's teasing the fielder, and great piece of fielding there on the cover boundary. Nobody out there here inside the power play, but they're able to just pull it just inside that boundary rope here. It's a couple of metres inside the picket fence here at University Oval. Pick up another 2 to the total. Dogra moves to 11. Day is on 27 and score 2 for 45 in the 6th over.
But I can give you an actual score thanks to our friends at Cricket New South Wales. Sydney, none for 39.
Next delivery here, and again, just that beautiful cover drive, but this time finds the fielder at cover point. Dot ball. How many overs gone there at Chatswood Chain?
They've just finished their 5th. You got Anthony Moscow. He is on 26 off 18 with Bethel on 11 from 12. 2 extras, 1 wide, 1 leg by. So yeah, number 39 for Sydney winning toss, batting first against Gordon at Chatswood.
So, next delivery here to Dogger. This one's nicely played. He blocks it back down the pitch, but good scrambling there from the students. Another dot ball to the total.
Yeah, as I said, you can see that the Blacktown side is slowly making their way back into this game. Matt Day's actually just going really well for them at the moment. They're just trying to work through this, but as I was saying before, whilst you're off air, both teams are expecting this to be about a 160 to 180 minimum.
That big delivery here. Oh, just popped up there off that green grass from that northern end, but well played by Dogger just into the offside. They pick up another single. So we're just waiting for the scoreboard to catch up, but it is 6 overs gone here. That is the power play done and dusted in this Thunder Conference final. Blacktown Mounties 2 for 46. And Shane, you got an update there for us from the BBL down in Hobart.
Certainly do. The game between the Hobart Hurricanes and the Sydney Thunder at the moment. They are just coming up to the end of the 17th over. Thunder batting first after being sent in. Sydney Thunder are 7 for 106. Currently, Chris Green and Ben Cutting at the crease. The current bowler is Nathan Ellis, and he has taken 3 wickets so far in his allotted 4 overs.
I said, for a personal note, good to see Ollie Davies there. He's put on a bulk of those runs for the Thunder. I saw the ball that Riley Meredith bowled to Dave Warner. Dave Warner out for a second ball dark.
Oh, okay.
Absolute peach, just swinging in to the left-hander going underneath the bat. I'd go out of your way if you can find that clip on social media or on the Cricket Australia app. Absolute peach of delivery to see Davey Warner go. But
Sydney Thunder have lost a bit of form lately, haven't they? They lost to the Scorchers, the Sixers, and in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, well, I think they were expecting a bit more out of Warner.
Yeah.
I said he was very much the junior partner to Ollie Davies in their partnership out at the showgrounds on Friday night, and then a second ball duck here at Blundstone. So I said, Davey, watch out for yourself. But we have bowling change here, 7th over. Malone coming into the attack from the number 2 overland, and a quick single, but bad throw to the keeper in Tim Cummins, sees Day get home.
Yeah, that throw had to be over the stumps. That's the only way you're going to get Matt Day out, but Tim Cummins is at full stretch off the end of the pitch there and wasn't able to get close. But so we can see Devlin Malone, who we've seen take lots of wickets at Belvedere Cup level and T20 coming on.
Here we go, Malone, and outside the off stump. Day tries to play it into the offside, but luckily for Blacktown, there was no edge on that one. Straight through to the keeper in Tim Cummins. But so we've seen the end of the power play, but we haven't seen all the fielders go out as the next one just chopped back in there. Cummins fields well, coming out from behind the stumps. But as I said, they are still trying to put the pressure on here. You got 2 covers right in the face of Day, trying to put that pressure on, and he bowls him. Too much pressure for the batter. He wanted to keep going like he had in the power play, but great bowling from Malone. We see him come on with his Chris Harris type deliveries and makes it hard for the batsman to score. And he's been able to clean him all ends up there, Shane Evans. That's the 3rd wicket down here for the students. 3 for 47 now. Blacktown Mounties in the 7th over.
Definitely well bowled there by Malone, able to hit the top of the McDonald's logos on the sponsored stumps at our end. But you could see, Matt, they had the right idea. I've got to try and hit him off his length. Don't give him the opportunity to settle down. But unfortunately, just threw his shot just a split second early, and as we said, about 3 or 4 inches from the top of middle stump was knocked back. And also, you have to look at Devlin Malone. He's not a traditional spinner as per se. He's more the Anil Kumble. He tries to push it through.
Chris Harris type.
Yeah,
Combination, I reckon, of both.
But instead of letting the ball do the work like a Shane Warne, he wants to push it through. It's more a medium pace type of spin than just getting the loop and allowing the actual pitch to grab the ball and make it turn in or out.
Well said, but whatever he bowls, he is certainly one of the key bowlers here for the students, and certainly got his work cut out for him today, as Tareen is now the new batter coming in facing his first delivery, and again outside the off stump. They just keep dangling that bat outside there, don't they? Trying to just get a little tickle on it, maybe down to third man, as there is no fielder down there currently. The 5 fielders out at cover, long on, long off, mid-wicket, and backward square leg is again just tries to run it off the open face of the bat. No run again, it goes through to the keeper in Cummins, but great first over from Malone, 1 for 1 off his first over here, and after 7 overs, 3 for 47 here. Dogra's 13 not out, Tureen yet to score.
We'll head back down to Hobart just for an update in the men's Big Bash between the Sydney Thunder and the Hobart Hurricanes. Sydney Thunder have just lost their 8th wicket, Ben Cutting being bowled for 13. Currently halfway through the 18th over. The Sydney Thunder are 8 for 115 with Green and Kadir coming in to face his first delivery. Riley Meredith currently taking 2 wickets in the last over of his 4 over allotment.
Said we see the left arm spinner now here on from the grandstand end, and first delivery Dogra from Hunter will just push that into the leg side, pick up another single. I said we are bringing you live and exclusive coverage here from University Oval. We see the numbers on YouTube. Thank you very much for listening through Frogbox as well as through Triple H 100.1 FM. As next ball from Hunter, left arm around the wicket. Just played by the new batter in Tureen into short cover, no run.
Also out at Chatswood Oval after 6 overs in the Sixers conference. Sydney are none for 50.
Good start there from Gordon as the next delivery there tries to come down the wicket, but again can only find the bowler in the follow through. But yeah, Gordon got some work to do there at Chatswood. We'll keep you informed in that game as the next one just tries to play it again off that open face. It seems to be something that the Blacktown Mounties side wants to do, particularly with no fielders down there. If they can beat that man sort of at backward point inside the circle, there are runs there, but just not being able to execute. As Hunter comes in yet again, and this time he does get it past the bowler and his follow through. But he'll only find the fielder at long on. And they'll pick up another single. It's been a great over by Hunter so far. 3 for 49, 1 ball left in the 8th.
But you have to look at it. The 3 balls that have been dot balls, what's the one thing that Tureen's trying to do? He's trying to come charging down the pitch to smother the spin. Play it from the crease and you probably score runs.
Well, I said, this one was right up in the block hole there. Dogra didn't move, but I said, I don't know how he got any wood on that one, but I'm sure he'd be glad he did, because if it counted into the pads, it would have been a big appeal. But another great over for the students. Only 3 off Hunter's first. And it's 3 for 50 here after 8. Said it doesn't look like we do have the scoring up on Frogbox. So we will try and give you those score updates as much as possible. I said I think around the grounds everywhere, technology is a lot of people's
bugbear today. Yeah.
Yes. I said no KO coverage. As Malone comes in again. Big appeal!
Down leg.
Oh, as I said, the crowd here in the grandstand would have absolutely erupted. But as I said, I think Malone thinks he's hard done by there, but I think any bowler would be.
I think Tim Cummins gave him away for the fact that his right leg is a foot outside leg stump.
I said, well, again, that one's nice and straight, but it's pushed back past Malone in his follow through. And they pick up another single through Dogra. But yeah, technology doesn't seem to be the friend of Premier Cricket, with the KO coverage not working at Chatswood, the statistics not working here on Frogbox at University, as the new batter in Tureen tries to come down the wicket again. You did mention the last over Shane Evans. He's probably better off playing it from the crease, because Malone, he comes onto you a bit quicker than most spinners as he comes in again, getting through his overs quick again. There he gets to the pitch of the ball this time and pushes it down. They'll look for 2, but no 2 there. Is another great piece of fielding by the students here. Is that's 2 runs off the over so far. 3 for 52, 2 balls left in the 9th. They've really slowed down the run rate here, have the students. As Malone comes in again. Again, just tries to play it onto the into the onside, but the fielder nicely placed it mid wicket. You don't see a lot of those in T20 cricket, but only being about 15 metres from the bat, he was able to stop the single. As Malone comes in for his final delivery again, all he can do is find the fielder at short mid wicket. Another great over there, which you can hear in our effects mic, being appreciated by the Sydney University faithful. 9 overs gone here at University Oval. Blacktown Mounties, they won the toss and batted first. They're 3 for 52 off 9. Dogra on 16, Tureen on 2.
Yeah, and heading back down to Hobart to Bellerive Oval. Coming up to the end of the 19th over for the Sydney Thunder. Thunder 8 for 124 being sent in by the Hobart Hurricanes with Green and Kadir there at the moment. Nathan Ellis has taken 4 wickets with 1 ball left in his spell.
Hunter will continue again. He tries to go forward, goes through his hands. A little bit of a misfield there, but they can't get the extra run. Everything's going the students' way there, but that would have been an absolute catch of the century to get that one in his follow through. Would it was Hunter, that was absolutely out of the middle of the bat, but only won their first delivery of the 10th over. They go up for that one and it's gone. He's got a little bit of purchase out of this green tinge that we see from that far end. It's gone right past the edge and just taken enough of it for Tim Cummins to take the catch, and a little bit more trouble there for Blacktown Mounties. 4 for 53 in the 10th.
The ball does not even get to Tim Cummins for the catch.
It bowled him.
It's bowled literally.
Wow.
Leg stump, wasn't
it's
it?
bowled the top of the bail on leg stump.
Wow.
Because just watch him beat Sajewicz, the umpire, on that end. The bail has moved literally 3 inches from the stump. It has basically hit it, knocked it down, and it's landed just behind the set of stumps. So he's only just got enough purchase on it for it to spin enough and not go over the top there, but
I said it did bounce a lot off that green tinge. So, as I said, and the way Tim Cummins juggled that ball, but no matter what, whether it was caught behind or bowled, it was an all-important 4th wicket here for the students, and that brings Nathan Souther to the crease. He's got a huge job here to do to get Blacktown Mounties to a competitive total. Hunter comes in again, Souther, his first ball. He can only find the fielder at cover point, no run.
But you also have to remember Nathan Souther does have a fairly distinguished career for his young age at the moment. Obviously played, I think it's now 6 seasons of county cricket over in England as well.
Well, again, this one again, he looks bamboozled. Hunter getting some great purchase off the pitch here. Well held by Cummins. He plays for Middlesex, doesn't he?
He does, yep. And this particular club here we were at today is one of his former grade clubs. Made the move out to Blacktown Mounties for work, but also does a bit of coaching with the junior levels.
Well, they need all of his young experience here today, as this one's just flicked off the pads into the vacant mid-wicket area. But great fielding coming around from short, fine leg, cuts off the 2 there. Souther gets off the mark. He's on 1. Tureen is on 3. 4 for 54 here. 1 ball left in the 10th.
If you're the uni coaching staff or Tim Cummins at the moment, you'd be absolutely wrapped knowing that you're only going to have a maximum of 60 runs after 10 overs.
Well, this one, he comes down the pitch, does Tureen. He gets it onto the leg side, open mid-wicket. Just found enough of the gap between the fielders at deep mid-wicket and long on to pick up 2. So that's the end of 10 overs here at University Oval, number 1, the Thunder Conference final between Blacktown Mounties and the home team, Sydney Uni. Blacktown Mounties winning the toss, bowling first, 4 for 56 off their 10 overs. To take you through the next 5 overs, Kiwi Mick Reinish.
Thank you very much, Matt Mears. Yes, so Blacktown Mounties here, 4 for 56 after 10 overs. They're not in the position they would want to be, and it's Waqas Tureen and Nathan Souther at the wicket. Here goes Devlin Malone with these little medium spinners that he bowls. He's 2 overs, 1 for 3, great figures. And it will be Nathan Souther on strike, who just takes his time here just to make the bowler wait a little bit. And it's a full bunger, but it dropped on him late, fielded nicely in the offside. They'll will not pick up a single this time.
Also have to remember that this used to be Nathan Souther's home club for 2 seasons, but moved across, so he'll know most of these guys inside out.
Malone again to Souter. He's got it absolutely on a string here, Malone. This is sensational slow medium bowling here. He's just bowling a great length, varying it up with pace. And again, this one is sliced away. Good little shot in the end. Federer will race towards the boundary to regather. They will pick up a couple of runs. So Souter moves on to 3, 4 for 58 here in the 11th. Malone does not muck around here getting through his overs. Very quick and a very useful performer for the Sydney University team. He'll be bowling to Souter again. And again, a nice length that just floats up and drops on him. Nice and dead straight as well. As Souter plays it back to the bowler again. And Malone, great bowling. As the scoreboard here just being delayed again. The scoreboard, we're looking at the far left corner of my vision. I'll have to pull out the, what is it, the mini binocular I've pulled out soon.
The monocular, yeah.
The monocular, what is it? Monocular?
Yep.
But it's 4 for 58 here in the 11th. And again, this one dropping on him late and almost yorking Souter. So Malone here is just bamboozling these Blacktown Mounties players. He bowled well in the semi-final win against Penrith as well. Here he comes again to complete the 11th. This one pushed back straight to the bowler again, and after 11 overs here, Blacktown Mounties are 4 for 58, so they've got a lot of work to do to try and get up to, you would think, try and get at least sort of 130, 140 to give them something to bowl at.
Yeah, definitely have to, but we'll go across to Chatswood to the Sixers final in the Kingsgrove T20. Obviously, there's vision issues with the broadcast, but some people have been trying to see what's going on. But they're in the 9th over. Sydney Tigers won the toss and decided to bat first to put pressure on Gordon. Sydney Tigers are none for 69 currently.
Good start.
I'll rephrase that. None for 74 now at the end of 9. Anthony Mosca 34, Bethel on 37. And down at the Big Bash game down at Bellreeve Oval at the moment, the 20 overs are almost done, just waiting for an umpire review of a possible waist-high full toss. So the Sydney Thunder will either have one more ball or they'll be all out for 120.
So Ryan McElduff to come in now with a bit of spin as well. Blacktown Mounties, it's a far, far cry from 3 weeks ago when they blasted 214 in their semi-final win against Bankstown. Here goes McElduff, goes down the wicket, the batter. But nicely for chance to run it if he hits. He's missed. It won't be out. That was gone by about 5 metres if he hit there, Shane. And it wasn't too far away from the stumps as well. Probably most fielders would probably expect to hit from there, would you think? Well,
Nathan Souter had given up and McElduff just had a quiet little chat to him as he was going past the stumps then.
Terrain on strike. Goes down the wicket again. This time he's timed it. A beautiful shot. That'll be 6 runs, smashing it over that car corner area. That's more like it for Blacktown Mounties.
Don't worry,
Mizzy,
car. Your car's safe. Your car's
Most
safe.
Most importantly, we'll be getting home safely because the car hasn't been smashed.
We can confirm in the Big Bash, the Sydney Thunder all out for 135 in that last ball. 136 for the Hurricanes to win their game down at Bellreeve.
6 for 64 here in the 12th over, Blacktown Mounties. Terrain moves on to 11. Here goes McElduff. Right arm around the wicket to the right-handed batter. He dinks it into the onside to that man. In close there, it's sort of a backwards square leg position. They will pick up a single. And McElduff gets to the top of his mark. This time bowling to Souter, who's quite experienced and around the world, playing different grades of cricket. Nicely fielded, sharp work in there by Jordan Gauchi in jersey number 11. This time pushed into the onside. Again, they're just rattling through the overs, these medium paces and spinners in this middle section of the innings. First innings of the match. Goes down the wicket, and this time he's nearly sliced it onto the stumps again. They will pick up a single, pretty fortunate. 4 for 66 here in the 12th over. And back on strike will be Terrain. McElduff 0.5 overs, no wicket for 8. Terrain on 12. Bit of a nice breeze coming across, just cooling the players down. Oh, and he's yorked him, nearly bowled him. McElduff puts the hands on the head. And not too bad an over there for Blacktown Mounties, though. 8 off it. 12 overs gone, 4 for 66.
I think McElduff's probably more annoyed for the fact is that the keeper, Tim Cummins, has missed a perfect opportunity because it's landed in his gloves and then just bobbled straight out, which would have had the Blacktown Mounties player in Souter out by at least 6 feet. But by the time the bobble was picked up, he was able to get back into his crease. Heading back over to Chatswood Oval for the other half of the conference finals, the Sydney Sixers conference. 9.5 overs in. The Sydney Tigers batting first. None for 75. With Moscow on 34, Bethel on 38. The reason that they're a few overs behind, they started late due to one of the umpires being late on arrival.
Dylan Hunter now switches ends as well, mixing these bowlers around. This is absolutely smashed straight to the man, and he's caught in that cow corner area, and Souter is fuming with himself, swinging the bat around, but he's got to go. 5 for 66 here in the 13th over. Hunter now is picks up the wicket. That's his second wicket of the day. Of course, he's normally a great opening bat here for Sydney University, but Shane, Blacktown Mounties are in trouble here. They need to get some sort of a respectable score.
They definitely need to. They need to be batting their 20 overs out because obviously we've seen some games where if you don't bat your 20 overs out, you get comprehensively beaten, but you do not want to have this type of thing hanging over your head for the rest of the regular Saturday competition, especially most of these guys being the Belvedere Cup. So, but we can now see the next batsman just walking up to the crease at the moment in Blatherwick, about to join, and he'll take strike.
Yep, took his time to get out there, didn't he?
Yeah, well, they got 90 seconds from the time the wicket falls to the
true.
time that they face up as well. But the same as you see up in the Big Bash and in the higher levels of cricket, Blatherwick will be the new batsman on strike. The only way that he wouldn't be if there was a run out or a wicket taken on the last ball of an over. So rewards the bowler for good bowling efforts to be able to get their hands on, as some players call, fresh meat in regards to taking another wicket on a player who's just walked to the crease for their first attempt.
Blatherwick, right-handed batter, takes guard. Dylan Hunter here, 2.1 overs, 2 for 7. Impressive stuff. Of course, he's a heavy run scorer for this team. This is edged here to the man behind square, behind that point area. Kind of like a short third man. They won't pick up a run.
He needs to pick that up because otherwise that's running to the fence. There's no one behind that 30-yard circle behind the keeper.
Hunter again, left arm spin. Sliced here, nearly caught as well to that same. Chance of a run out at the bowler's end. And if he direct hit there, he was gone as well. It's a bit like South Africa with all those run-outs in the test matches in the recently completed 3-match series.
I was thinking more the Adelaide Strikers and that from yesterday's Big Bash game.
And it's all happening here at University Oval. Here goes Hunter again. Nicely flighted. Ooh, pump ball, but hit straight back to the bowler. Again, just rattling through these overs here, Sydney University. Gets ready to face up again. Welcome to all the people watching on Frogbox as well. And this one nicely driven here, more orthodox cricket shot this time by Blatherwick. They will pick up a single to the man on the fence. So 5 for 67 here, 1 ball left in the 13th over. Terrain back on strike. He has sort of stuck in there on 12. Seems like he's been out there for a while just trying to hold everything together. And here goes Hunter again. Very good spell here by the left arm spinner. Terrain on strike. Goes down the ground, just pushes it to that man on the fence again. Just a single. They fire it into the keeper, Cummins. So 13 overs gone here. And Blacktown Mounties 5 for 68.
Well, we'll go back across to Chatswood. Before we just mentioned before that they were none for 70 odd. Literally, they've just lost both openers in Moscow and Bethel in quick succession. Currently coming up to midway through the 10th over. Sydney Tigers are 2 for 79 after being none for 75. With Nathan Doyle and Harry Menenti, brother of Ben, who's playing in the Big Bash with the Adelaide Strikers. He's just come to the crease. Nathan Doyle is 1 from 1. So it's 2 for 79, 10.3 overs in. Once again, in the Big Bash game down at Hobart, the Sydney Thunder have been removed for 135 after their 20 overs.
McElduff now to continue, right arm around the wicket, goes down the ground, does Terrain. It will probably be a leg by here as they'll get 1 run. No, might have got a little bit of wood on that one. Fair enough.
Easy way to look, Kiwi. If you see the umpire put his hand out level to the ground, that means there's going to be a signal to the scorers that there is some sort of an extra.
Okay. So it will be McElduff now to Blatherwick. Trying to time up with the angle. It's hooked into the onside and all the way for a half a dozen. That's 6 of the best there. Beautiful shot. He timed it well. Good way for Blatherwick to get into his innings. A little bit like Glenn Phillips against Pakistan in that one day or the other day where he just stands in strong with those big arms, smashing it for 6. Standing and delivering. What a series win that was for the Kiwis over Pakistan. 2-1.
We've got to give you one win, something.
That's all I'll talk about New Zealand cricket for the day. Here goes. McElduff flights this one up. Oh, beautifully driven here along the carpet. And that will rocket to the fence for 4. So this is great batting here by Blatherwick. He move into double digits now. 5 for 79 here in the 14th over are Blacktown Mounties.
That's a scary thought because where we literally are sitting, you've got long on and long off, and they're only about 15 metres from the side screen on both sides, and they didn't even get close to it.
And again, he hasn't timed this one. A little bit casual there was Terrain at the non-strikers, running halfway down the pitch and eventually coming back home. And McElduff's been the only expensive bowler here. He's 1.4 overs, no wicket for 19. He's the only bowler so far that's really copped any tap. So we Blatherwick on strike on 11. Oh, and that's through to the keeper. Beating him on the angle again, going right arm around the wicket to the right-handed batter. Trying to sort of cut down his shots with the angle of the delivery. Last ball of the over. And it's going to be wide, and they'll pick up a 1 as well. So that'll be 2 runs, I'd imagine. Stating the obvious, so 5 for 81 now. Still 1 ball left in the 14th.
Still need, to be honest, if the amount for Blacktown side, okay, fair enough, you're going to have 6 overs left after this. You're going to have to be going at least 10 and over. You still want to have at least 140 to 150 on board. Otherwise, you're just handing this title to uni.
Oh, and he's gone for the sweep shot, but he hasn't timed it all. Cummins, the keeper, it probably went about 5 metres, and he runs around behind square to pick that one up. So 14 overs gone here in the Thunder Conference final. Blacktown Mounties 5 for 79.
Well, heading back over to the Sixers conference game out at Chatswood Oval, with Sydney Tigers taking on the home side in the Gordon Stags at the moment. Sydney won the toss and decided to bat first, 11.1 overs, 2 for 83 at the moment. Nathan Doyle on 3, Harry Menenti on 2, with both wickets going to Cook. 2 overs, 2 for 11.
Kiwi Mick, I'll give you. We're not going to talk too much about the Kiwi Test team, but the Super Smash.
Yes.
Been a bit of a revelation on the old cricket channel before the Big Bash coming on. Some unique grounds they play over in the land of the Long White Cloud.
I've been to a lot of them as well over the years when I lived there. This one driven along the carpet for a single. Of course, there was a game at Pukekura Park in New Plymouth where someone hit a 4, it got stuck in the hedge, and one of the players and 3 kids were trying to retrieve the ball. You want to talk about old school grounds? I'm not sure if you saw that one.
I did. I love that ground.
I've been to that one. No run this time, so Hunter continuing. He's 3.2 overs, 2 for 10.
He's bowling really well here, but if you're speaking about grounds, how weird is it to see the men and the women playing outside Eden Park? They're playing on the number 2 field there.
They normally do for those types of games, though. Only the international play. Yep, it's been like that for years. So it will be a single here to long on. So the Auckland Aces one-day team or 4-day, it's always at that outer oval ground.
But you've got to admit, it actually looks really nice because you've got the old-style grandstand there. And you can basically just sit up on the hill and all there is between you and the players is a roped-off fence.
Again, Hunter. This one again driven nicely along the carpet by Blatherwick. He's starting to look quite good. Out in the middle, you pick up a single. 5 for 84 here in the 15th over. They're going to have to really get things rolling in the last 5. Hunter again with a left arm spin. Goes down the wicket, smashes this into the onside.
Out.
And he's caught on the fence. Probably about 2 metres in from the rope at that cow corner area. Sydney University get another wicket. They just won't let Blacktown Mounties get away from them this time. Wakas Tareen is gone, and it's 6 for 84.
You can see, you can hear them. It's almost like they're listening to you, Kiwi, saying like you need to start moving the score rate up. But yeah, unfortunately, even allowing for the wind working in his favour, it's just fallen about 6 foot short of clearing the fence. But for the fielder out there, got to give credit to him. He's been able to throw the ball back to umpire Daniel Moran, who's just on the edge of the cricket square closest to on the end that we're calling from, and was able to land it directly into his hand. That's a good 75, 80 metre throw to someone who's probably not expecting the ball to be coming back, not on the bounce. But yeah, it was a good throw. But yeah, I think you can almost tell now that Mounties are now almost into survival mode. They want to just bat their 20 overs out and just get whatever they can, thinking if they can get to 120, 125, at least they got some runs in. If they get a couple of early wickets, that they may be able to get it through it.
So Puru Gore comes in, right-handed batter, and he pushes us into the offside. Nice little shot that for a single, hitting it through that point area. Very late shot. And after 15 overs, Blacktown Mounties is 6 for 85. Over to you, Matt Mears.
Thanks, Kiwi Mick. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting 5 overs. As Shane Evans just said, I think the first target for them is to bat these full 20 overs and not be bowled out and leaving balls still yet to be delivered. But if you have just tuned in, we do welcome you to Triple H Sports coverage of the Kingsgrove Sports Centre T20 Cup, the Sydney Thunder Conference Final between the Blacktown Mounties and the home side, Sydney University. Blacktown Mounties winning the toss, batting first, currently 6 for 85 off 15 overs. Blatherwick, he's new to the crease, but on 13. Gore, really new to the crease. One ball, 1 run. And it looks like it's going to be the local favourite in Hugo Akita to come back here for the 16th over from the southern or the grandstand end here at University Oval number 1. Wait and see. He's a bit of the crowd favourite, isn't he, Shane Evans? Will he get the clap in? I don't know if they've actually noticed that he's come back on to bowl, but he comes in for his first delivery. It's just on leg stump. Turned around the corner. They'll look for 2. They're coming back. But the wire throws a bit wayward there to the keeper in Tim Cummins. Gore will pick up 2. 6 for the Devils number of 15.1. I won't do it to Blacktown Mounties. They're already in a bit of a pickle. I'm not gonna jinx them with what
it's the
total
86
they're on.
plus 1.
Yes. Well, they put on the scoreboard, which you should never do, as he comes into the next one, and it's outside off stump. He tries to cut it away, but luckily for them, the arms do go up from the umpire. So just as it appears, it disappears. 6 for 88 here, 15.1 overs.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing because that particular number, no cricket club.
I ban it, and my club in England even bans it from being put on the scoreboard. That's how much of a Devils number it is. As the next one here just gets the inside edge and goes out onto the onside near the square leg umpire. Well fielded by Tim Cummins, though, coming out from behind the stumps, but they pick up another single. 6 for 89, 15.2 overs.
Heading back over to Chatswood Oval for the Sydney Sixers conference final for the Kingsgrove T20. Sydney Tigers just lost their third wicket. Nathan Doyle out for 4. Sydney Tigers 3 for 88 halfway through the 13th over. Bo McClintock has just walked to the crease.
Here we go. Comes Akita in again, and this one's gone big. It's gone high, and it's nowhere near my car, thankfully for me, and it is 6. It is into almost the next university building that's behind the grandstand here. That's an absolutely huge shot, Shane Evans.
It definitely is. Well, we're probably about 30, 40 metres up in the air, and that was well and truly above our heads and on the top of the grandstand, which is a good probably 70 metres from ground level, and it was still climbing, going over the fence. It's only just been retrieved and back to umpire Moran just to double check, make sure the ball's good. It's been given a signal saying it's fine.
I feel a bit better now. There's a group of about 4 or 5 Blacktown Mounties players or staffers sitting about 5 metres from my car, so hopefully they'll protect it if a 6 comes its way. As Akita comes in again, and no way that one was going for a 6. Nice little change up, and it's just decked back a little bit off that greenish patch that we see at that far end. Dot ball. I think the batter, though, watching that second stroke, was a bit disappointed that one didn't disappear as well.
Yeah, because it looks like you're getting a bit more bounce off the end if you're at the rugby union field end than you are if you're one closer to the grandstand.
Here you go, Akita here again, and that was going to come straight into the commentary position if he got a hold of that one. Shane Evans, I think, would have been maybe out of umpiring duty for a while if it came in his direction, but luckily for the students, he didn't make any connection. But I think we see what Blatherwick's, I think we know what he's going to be doing. Everyone he wants to see disappear over the nice white little picket fence here at Sydney University Oval number 1. Here comes Akita coming in again. Where's this one go? Nice slower ball there. He can only push it on the offside. Nicely run single though. 6 for 96 here, and that is the end of 16 overs here. 4 overs to go. Blatherwick will retain the strike.
Yeah, but you could also, the wind has shifted as well. Instead of it running,
it's straight into our effects, Mike.
Yeah, instead of it being from our right shoulder to left shoulder coming across the pitch, it has turned. And if anyone knows University Oval or Sydney Uni in general, it's running from the main entrance straight down to the grandstand that we're calling in. So you can kind of understand what Blatherwick's saying. Well, okay, I've got the wind behind me. I get enough elevation, enough power on it. I should be able to clear the fence here, where you have the exact opposite situation here where Devlin Malone's going to bowl his and finish off his 4 over spell. You're going to be hitting into a decent breeze. So you have to get it really high and real hard, or keep it flat to keep it below that tree line, which is helping to stop the wind coming up.
Was that big over here from Malone? He's been tidy so far, and this one goes on to the leg side. Long on will charge in and stop the 2. No twos. I don't think we've seen any so far, or if they are, they're very few and far between.
Oh, we saw one, and that was down here in the corner.
Yeah, but that was in the power play when there was nobody out. So. But Malone coming in for his second delivery. Oh, if there's ever tip and run, that's it. Tim Cummins, I don't know what he's tried to do there. I said it is coming up on the frog box. He's flicked it onto the bowler in Malone, but nowhere near the stumps.
He's having a good old laugh. You can see him throw the head back and having a bit of a laugh.
When they're 6 for 98 in the 17th over, you'd be having a good chuckle as the skipper. But
he had the right idea, just trying to flick it back, but just flicked it up.
Well, this one's short. One. Yeah, it is short from Malone, but there is a sweeper out there at cover, just the single.
I reckon that's his first loose delivery in the spell. He's bowled so well, hasn't he?
He has. He's just been on that spot. He hasn't bowled a length that they've been able to get under him to hit away to the boundary. I said right again. He's in that spot where they can only just push it again onto the offside. Quick singles are good here. They're not losing wickets, Blacktown Mounties, but I think they'll want Blatherwick to try and find the rope or get it over those picket fences a couple more times to give him something to bowl at. That's the 100 up, as this next one just drops short. If he been half a pace further up there, he would have taken that catch, but just drops short there of the fielder at short mid-wicket. But that is the 100 up off that previous delivery, 6 for 100, as the next one again placed out into the offside, fielded by that fielder at cover. 6 for 101, 1 ball left here in the 17th over. Shane Evans, what do you think though that they would be looking to chase here, the students?
Students want to try and keep it as low as possible. Okay, fair enough. We're coming with 17 overs in. Okay, so run a ball, 3 overs, 3 sixes are 18, takes you to 118, 120, because you're going to probably maybe get 8 wide or a no ball somewhere there. So say 120, 125. But
yeah, if you're Blacktown Mounties,
if you're Blacktown, as long as Blatherwick's in there, there's a good chance you'll push closer to 140.
Yeah.
And when you're bowling from this end of the field, which I think, from what I can see, it looks like it's going to be Dylan Hunter again, I think, to bowl his 4th and final over as well. If you can get some elevation, your car could be in trouble, or the buildings that are behind us, because some of these ones are absolutely flying.
The Blacktown Mounties guys down there, I'm sure they will protect me, but no, Hunter's finished 3 for 13 off his 4 overs.
Just having a look through
it's Kieran Tate, sorry.
Yes.
Looking through the monocular, some of those balls that Malone was bowling were at the back of the hands. He was mixing it up with, if you know what I mean, so you could focus right in on that arm of the hand. So interesting to see that.
Yeah, slower balls are behaving a bit badly off this pitch, as the first one here from Tate back in for the 18th over. Wide one outside off, goes through to the keeper, no run.
Going back down to Hobart for the men's Big Bash game between the Hurricanes.
Is it over yet?
No, the Sydney Thunder have just taken their first wicket.
Ooh.
But I will give you some more details after this delivery.
Yeah, let Tate come in here to Blatherick. Is he going to look for the boundary again? He is.
And over the top.
Yes, just, I think they needed a fielder that was maybe 10 foot tall rather than 6 foot tall down there at long on. It just goes over his head, hits those pickets, and much needed 6 for 107 here. 2 balls into the 18th over.
Yeah, so the Sydney Thunder were all out for 135 for the last ball of their innings. We're coming up to the end of the second over. Matthew Wade was run out a couple of balls ago. The Hurricanes are 1 for 9 after 1.5.
Here he goes. Crouched back in his crease there. Good bowling by Tate. Oof. He saw him going, but
go.
No one was backing up the bowler trying to throw the stumps down. Not good game awareness for the students, who have been very good in the field. But going back to that piece of bowling from Tate, he saw Blatherick try and set up to go leg side, and he took that into consideration. But as I said, the fielder there at cover really needed to get across and try and back up those stumps. He's let them pick up an overthrow. 6 for 109 here, halfway through the 18th. I said, what can he do here now? Blatherick, he'll be looking to go big again, and he comes down the wicket. Tate saw him coming and pushed it shorter. He couldn't change his shot, and it just goes through to the keeper and Tim Cummins, no run. But boy, if he'd connected on that one, Shane Evans.
That was over the roof, I reckon.
That's over our roof, and that's hitting one of the cars parked in the building behind us.
It's in the library.
Yeah, but with the wicket that fell down in Hobart, the person who threw the run-out ball, Ollie Davies.
Well, he's doing a lot. Ollie Davies is again, he tries to be a bit sneaky here to Blatherick. I don't think the ramp is his shot. He should just be looking to stay still and go big. But another dot ball there for the students. 8 runs off this over so far, 1 to come. I have been reliably told that is the Susan Wakeel building behind the oval that they're hitting into. It's the medical science building, and we need to save that building as it's new. I'll tell you, my car is more important than that new building. As the final delivery here, and it goes huge, it goes big.
And over.
They're lucky there, the rope's in about an extra metre or 2 because of the covers. But it is another 6 runs to the total. That's the sort of over that the Blacktown Mounties side needed. 14 runs off it, 6 for 115, 2 overs left here at University Oval.
Can I kind of guess who would be feeding you this information?
No.
Okay,
Because you
well,
would see it's in our group chat.
I haven't got my thing going at the moment. I'm actually got to try and looking for
Does
the
their name
scores.
start with G?
Maybe.
I would kind of guess it would be being one of our fellow colleagues. But going back over to Chatswood Oval for the Sydney Sixers conference final in the Kingsgrove T20. Sydney Tigers won the toss and decided to bat first. 15 overs in. The Sydney Tigers are 4 for 103. What's happened there? Only three overs ago, they were none for 78. Harry Menenti's just got out. Bo McClintock is on 6. And Wayne Ford has just come to the crease. He is on 2.
The Gordon fans in the grandstand are probably starting to rack them up and get behind that team.
They're getting well hydrated, you reckon?
I think that sort of momentum has carried them through to a comeback.
Also, have we found out if the stream is back up there, Shane? Maybe
we'll have a look. But we can also tell you that the Hurricanes have lost their second wicket. More details shortly.
Oh, Maladay comes in and looks for the man-cat. Oh. Well, just watching the feed come through from Frogbox, and
he had it. But thing is, he's done it right.
He didn't go into his bowling stride.
No. You can get into the bowling stride, but as soon as your arm is parallel to your body, is when the umpire will stop it.
Yeah, well, Maladay there putting the non-striker on notice as this one is bowled, and Gore's just able to push this one into the onside. They pick up a single, 6 for 116.
Smart batting there to get Blatherwick on strike, isn't it? He's the man, 37. He's saved this Blacktown Mounties team. Coming in at number 7, is he?
Yeah, number 7.
He's done very well to rescue this to some sort of a score, isn't he?
37 off 24, 1 for 4 sixes.
Yep.
He's certainly getting them to something that they can bowl at, but you could see why he's leaving the crease. He knows he needs to be on strike. And again, he goes to the ramp, but it gets maybe the edge or the toe, and he just finds the fielder at deep square leg, picks up the single, but obviously trying to go over the head of the short fine leg.
Had the right idea, but just was a little bit early in his shot there, where if he hits it properly and not toes it, that's bouncing 2 or 3 into the fence out here.
I think he just needs to stay in his crease. He can hit the ball as the next one's just left outside the off stump. Batsman looks for the wide, but
was never going to happen.
I'm going to pull out a saying
well
here.
And truly inside.
That's about a foot inside the line. If you're Gore, you should be absolutely looking to step across and hit that, because he's put that on a plate for you, but you'd rather sit there and just hope that umpire Sajewicz is going to give you that call. But we can also now tell you there's a third wicket gone for the Hobart Hurricanes. Zach Crawley has just been caught there by Chris Green. So they're 3 for 20 now in the 4th over.
There's 2 types of leave, a good leave and a bad leave.
That was not a leave, that was a top edge, and it is run away for 4. No one behind the keeper.
He's obviously got an edge to it, because I didn't see any back.
Yeah, no, he did get the edge.
Yeah, definitely an edge.
I was going to say, just the way that it bounced, it looked like it just gone straight over the top.
Top edged it over. I think that's the only way that he got it over Tim Cummins to get it to the boundary, but much needed 4.
Because I was just watching umpire Moran on this end, and he's given the one for the over warning on it. So
that's still high, but he did get some wood on it. As the next one
looks wide.
Yeah, there you go. He gets the second one, does Gore. He was looking for it earlier in the over, didn't get it. Even up here in the com box, we saw that it was inside the line. That one, though, just judged to be outside those tram tracks. 6 for 122 here. 8 deliveries left in the Blacktown Mounties innings as he goes big for this one. But again, you could hear the crack of the toe. Misfield, they'll come back for 2.
Whoa.
The big dive, he's been given. He's been given. It should have got back for all money, but they decided to go for the second. What do they say? Don't run on a misfield.
Absolutely.
But they wanted to get him. They wanted to get him back on strike and have Blatherwick face the final over. But it doesn't work out for Blacktown Mounties. He will pick up that run, but that's 7 wickets down here now. 1 ball left in the 19th over. 7 for 123 here, Blacktown Mounties, after winning the toss and batting first here in the Sydney Thunder Conference final.
The one thing I'd be doing if I was Gore and being very careful. You have to remember, you can't show dissent to the umpire, was the spray that he's given him as he's walked off. You could see him looking towards umpire Moran and absolutely giving it to him. Whether Daniel just sits there and lets it go, or he's going to take some reference to it later.
What would be the punishment for that, like a fine or a ban, or?
Depending on what the umpire wanted to do, it could be anywhere from, like, because most of these some of these players only make a small bit of money. It's only like $300 or $400 for a season, like basically enough to cover their fees. Normally, it would be a ban. Could be anywhere from one match to 3 matches, or if you really wanted to and you really got stuck into the umpire, you could be sitting the rest of the season out. But it just didn't look good when you're seeing him and he's shaking his head and you can see the lips moving directly towards umpire Moran, where you have to remember, these two gentlemen are 2 of the best Big Bash umpires that you see in games here in Sydney, also in Brisbane, and they travel around. They've given up Big Bash games this weekend to do these 2 conference finals.
Well, here you go. Raval, the new batter on strike. He swings, but good. He's sent back there. I don't think there was a run A, and Blatherick News, he wants to face the final over. So that's the end of 19 overs here. Blacktown Mounties, 7 for 123 here as the scoreboard's not updating. Thankfully, Play HQ is actually working today. We've got the scores up here for us. But
can Blatherick explode here with a big over?
You think
he's on strike, isn't he?
If he could get him to 140,
140.
That would be a tricky chase
as well. When Sydney University played Randy Peets last year in the competition whole final.
Yes,
I remember Randy Peets got about 130 and then Sydney University got about 80 or 90 from memory. So
112 to 92.
Yeah, so you just don't, runs on the board, big finals. So,
well, we suggested. Well, when Matt asked me the question a couple of overs ago, what does the university want to have? Probably as a maximum was about 125. That's where they're almost sitting at the moment. But with another over, and if Blatherwick can get a couple of looser balls here from Akita, they might get to that 140.
Akita coming back for the final over. Oh, Blatherwick tries to go. The non-striker backs up, but it's rightfully sent back. But a good Yorker to start there. 3.1 overs, 2 for 27. Akita coming on to bowl this final over. Big job for the youngster.
We can confirm, unfortunately, there has been some major technical issues over at the Sydney Sixers conference final, and
what a shame.
And the KO feed has not been able to work today.
Oh, we're live and exclusive here in the Thunder Conference final as Blatherwick smashes this one out into the offside. They are coming back for 2, Shane Evans. They had to, but he did hit it far enough. He just missed the fielder at short cover, but he did find enough. So for those that were listening in, yes, there was a 2 finally, but you would think they're going to run for everything here. Blatherwick needs to face all these 4 balls. 7 for 125, 9.2 overs gone of the Blacktown Mounties innings.
Can he get his 50 here?
Well, he's on 40. Where's this next one going? Great ball up in the block hole. He's sending it back.
He's farming it. He's smart.
Farming the strike here. He sends the non-striker back. He knew there wasn't going to be 2, and you would assume they'd be throwing to his end. So it's not like they could pick up the 1 and then try and just sacrifice the non-striker. They'd be throwing to his end no matter what. So he does retain the strike here. Three deliveries left. Only 2 runs off the over so far. This one goes big.
Catch it, Matt. Catch it.
And that's 6. It has missed my car for those playing at home. But it is 6 straight over the side screen. That's why you farm the strike in the final over.
Moves to 46 as well. 2 balls left.
And that's hit the concrete stairs just to the start of the grandstand where we have to walk up to Getty. So umpire Moran's had to look at the ball again, giving it the thumbs up, thinking, well, it's only got to last for 2 more balls. And if it's no good, it's no good. Anywhere.
As Akita comes in again. Again, it goes big, it goes straight. Huge 6 into the new medical building at
That's
Sydney
the way
University.
That's the way to bring up your 50. Double sixes to
Yeah.
go, and there's still one ball remaining. Don't worry, George. The building's safe. There's lots
And
of
so
people.
is the car.
There's lots of people there to saving it. It's got nowhere within 20 metres of Matt's car, but some of these hits from Blatherwick are still climbing over these trees, and they're a good 30, 40 metres up in the air, and they're clearing them without even trying.
Yeah, 52 off 30 rocks for Blatherwick. 1, 4, 6 sixes. He is really dragging them across the line. They said if he can get a boundary off this ball, Kiwi Meat, that's 140.
Even 137 though, they've done pretty good.
Yeah, who would have thought 5 overs ago that they would be in this position? So he's really dragged.
Who would have thought
Blacktown
3
Mounties.
overs ago they were going to get to 140, and they're only just getting to 100.
Yeah, well, as I said, I think all this is doing is setting up for what's going to be a thrilling run chase. Don't go anywhere after this. As final delivery comes in, and he swings hard again.
Out.
But out. He had to go for it. He picks out the fielder at deep mid-wicket there, cow corner. But it's been a wonderful innings there from Blatherwick. He holds out the final delivery. He's out for 52, but they finish up Blacktown Mounties 8 for 137 off their 20 overs. And as we said, they now have something to bowl at.
Yep. Very good effort by Sydney University, though. I mean, they're definitely the favourites, I think. 137, so 138 will be the target for them in about 10 minutes. But good bowling by Devlin Malone, outstanding again. It's funny, in the end, actually, Akita was quite expensive. We'll get to those figures soon, but Blatherwick, superb batting to drag them to some sort of a score. But I think Sydney University should be the favourites here, chasing 138.
Well, we'll go through that scorecard for you. The Blacktown Mounties innings, they finish 8 for 137 off their 20 overs. Diabolatola, he was first out, bowled by Hugo Akita in that second over. He got 1 off 2 deliveries. Matthew Dave, he was bowled by Devlin Malone after a good start. 27 off 20 deliveries, 3 fours and 1 6. Singh, he was the golden duck after the wide in that double wicket taking second over, caught by Dylan Hunter off the bowling of Akita. Dogra, he was bowled by Dylan Hunter for 16 off 24. Tareen, he was also slow to start, 15 off 20. He was caught by Maladay off the bowling of Hunter. Nathan Sauter, they were hoping a lot from him. 4th off 12 deliveries. He was again caught by Maladay off the bowling of Hunter. I said the rescuer of the innings here at number 7, Jack Blatherwick. He was caught, Maladay again, 3 catches for him, this time off the bowling of Akita, 52 off 31. 1 4, 6 sixes, and Guru, he was that big run out, which as Shane Evans mentioned, was not happy with that. He ends up with 11 off 9, and Raval, he only faced that 1 ball. He finishes not off. 10 extras, 10 wides, makes it nice and easy for the scorers here today. 8 for 1. It ends up being 136, even though it's 137 on the scoreboard. We'll confirm that when we come back. But the bowling figures for Sydney University, Maladay, 3 overs, none for 23. Akita, he was one of the better bowlers, but took some stick in that final overs. 4 overs, 3 for 41. Kieran Tate, 3 overs, none for 28. Devlin Malone, what sort of figures are these? 4 overs, 1 for 10. And
Chris
Dylan
Harris-esque.
Chris Harris-esque. I knew you'd like that one.
Maybe not that economical, but yeah.
Well, as I said, Dylan Hunter as well. 4 overs, 3 for 13. They really put the screws on through the middle overs. And McElder, he took a little bit of stick as well. Not for 21 off his 2 overs. So we're going to take a quick break here on Triple H 100.1 FM, the Triple H Sports Stream, and on Frog Box. But we'll be back in about 7 or 8 minutes' time to go through the second innings and what a run chase it's going to be. Sydney University requiring 137 or 138 for victory for a place in the Kingsgrove Cup final. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to Sydney University Oval number 1 here for the Sydney Thunder Conference Final of the Kingsgrove Sports Centre T20 Cup. I am the wise man, Matt Mears, and we're just waiting for both teams to come out here for the Sydney University chase. 137 required for them to make that final against either Gordon or Sydney Tigers next Sunday, for what is going to be another thrilling conclusion to what has been another impressive Kingsgrove Sports Centre T20 Cup here for season 2022-23. Thank you very much for joining us, whether you're listening on Triple H 100.1 FM, you're listening on the Triple H Sports stream at sports.triplehfm.com.au, or you're listening through Frogbox here on the Cricket New South Wales YouTube channel. We're proud to bring you this final coverage here. I'm joined by Kiwi Mick Reinisch, the Hat Rack Shane Evans here. Boys, it's going to be a tricky chase. They said it was a great innings by Blatherick. He got that 50 to drag them to this 136 total. But yeah, it said it's a big chase going from about 110, 120 to now up towards 140. He's really put Blacktown Mounties into this game.
Yeah, that's right. The players taking the field now as well. But, yeah, I mean, stating the obvious, Blacktown Mounties are going to need early wickets here. That's for sure. But I think Sydney University with players like Dylan Hunter and Damien Mortimer and co batting, and obviously Tim Cummins as well can strike it. So they've got a lot of strike power with their batting in this format. They won the Thunder final last year, Sydney University. They're trying to do 2 in a row. And the players take the field now. Matt Mayer, it's going to be very interesting.
Very interesting here. We're waiting for the university batters to come out as they make their way out from the university change rooms here. Players and umpires getting themselves into position. It is going to be an enthralling run chase. Make sure you keep abreast here at... whether you're listening here on Triple H 100.1 FM or on Frogbox, we'll bring you live and interrupted coverage through to the conclusion. Who will be representing the Sydney Thunder in that big game next Sunday? We will know at the end of 20 overs. So we're going to be starting from the Southern or Grandstand end. We've got Dummer and Hunter, the two batsmen for Sydney University. Blatherick, straight after his 50, has got to come out and bowl the first over, mate. Well, strike while the iron is hot, and to take you through the first 5 overs, Kiwi Mick Reinisch.
Here we go. So it's all on now. It's next Sunday or next Sunday off, really. Who wants to be in the final for this whole competition for the Kingsgrove Sports T20 Cup? 138 will be the target here for Sydney University. It will be Dylan Hunter and Charlie Dummer here to open up the batting. And, of course, Jack Blatherick with his outstanding innings. Sometimes cricket can roll like that as well, where you carry that momentum from one skill of the game into the other in the second innings. So he's got a pretty decent run up here. And, of course, he is a right-arm bowler. Here he goes, steaming in. Oh, and a beautiful delivery and appeal for LBW, and the umpire says no.
Bat first.
Bat first. So Johnny on the spot straight away with a good delivery. Blatherick, his adrenaline would still be flowing, Shane, from that brilliant innings where he got 6 sixes. Yeah, he's sort of carrying that momentum into his bowling, isn't he?
Definitely was. Got some beautiful shape there, but just got the faintness of edges there for Dummer to stop being LB. Looked like he's basically sitting right on middle and leg stump, so umpire Moran would have only had that edge to stop it being given out. It was low enough on the pad, but obviously an edge first.
Blatherick again. And Dummer's gone for this, but straight to the man in close on the onside. Doing the fielding there was Wakas Terrain. Couple of dot balls to start. Very strong, big frame here, Blatherick. Very solidly built. Almost sort of like Cameron Green. Really strong figure, isn't he?
It's almost
bowls
like
quite a heavy ball, doesn't he?
It's almost like for any of the older listeners, they know Don Nash back when he was playing in the grade and the New South Wales set up probably 10, 15 years ago. That same type of build, tall and broad across the shoulders.
Yeah.
Fairly slim line in the torso, but had the broad shoulders and was able to swing a mean ball left to right and right to left, depending on who is facing at the moment. But yeah, both balls have been absolutely on the dot at the moment. There'd be a handkerchief across it. You need one about probably 2 inch by 2 inch. That's where they both landed, almost exactly the same spot.
Absolutely. So they just make a few fielding adjustments here. 2 men out on the leg side, one at deep square leg and fine leg. So will be Dummer on strike. Bit of a tension in the crowd here as we know the start's going to be important. He's gone for it and he's edged it and it should roll away for 4. It'll roll away in the offside to the boundary. Thick edge, picks up a boundary, pretty lucky, but they're off the mark, no wicket for 4.
Yeah, bit of a streaky shot there, but was able to just get the edge, and obviously being in the power play, runs inside the 30-yard circle, apart from a very squarish third man at the moment and deep backward square, so ball was always going to fly to the fence.
Here goes Blatherwick again, the right armour. Dummer with a cracking shot through the covers. That is the shot of the day. An absolute ripper and a no ball as well, Shane, but he absolutely toasted that one.
That was absolutely out of the screws.
Oh.
And you know the worst thing is, because this is T20, it's the two best words if you're a batter. Free hit. So, Mearsy, we know he's not on air at the moment. You may want to get those hands nice and toasty warm, because if Dummer wants to hit one, it's coming straight to So, in Mearsy's case, hobbling towards the car to make sure it doesn't get hit.
And that was right out of the screws. So no wicket for 9, half an over gone. Here goes Blatherwick again. Oh, and
that'll be wide too. Oh, sir.
I tell you what, Shane, it was, I reckon that was over his head. What do you think?
Mate, my arms are extended here. That was definitely over shoulder. Beats Adjewich has been very generous with that. Safe to say that Dummer isn't the tallest batter going around.
Pretty sure.
Maybe 5'6", 5'7", and I reckon that's gone at least 6 foot in the air, even when he's standing upright.
So Blatherwick again. Oh, he's gone short again. He's nicked it for 4. So a little bit of luck here with a couple of these boundaries, but at the end of the day, Sydney University off to a flyer on the scoreboard. No wicket for 13, 1 ball left in the first. Very similar to that earlier 4, so a couple of top edges for 4.
I think he's now starting to get frustrated, because obviously the first couple of balls have been absolute jaffers there for Blatherwick, and he's had one good ball go, then the no ball front foot, and then a couple of balls being edged over the top of the slips. I think he's trying to go a bit too hard. Get back to those first couple of balls where you're putting it nice and full, so it's pitching on middle and off and swinging back towards middle and leg, where Dummer was absolutely struggling to try and get. Don't pitch short, because you're giving them their opportunity. Pitch it full and let the ball swing, because it is swinging.
So Blatherwick again. And he's gone for and this one's been top edged again, and it's just going to beat the fielder who's racing towards the boundary, towards the long on part of the field. They'll pick up a couple. This is a good start here, though, for Sydney University. Sometimes you're going to get a few edges for 4 in this format of the game. 1 over gone, no wicket for 15. The target 138.
Once again, exactly what I just said. So don't pitch it short. So what does he do? Puts it about 2/3 way down the pitch. It allow Dummer to get the arms free and get under the ball and be able to lift it up and over the field. You need to get it back up and have it on that. Where normally, if you like watching the Fox cricket and they show you the different lines of where it's too short, where it's a full toss, and where Yorker length, get it back to almost that Yorker length, that probably 3 to 4 foot short of the stumps there. For those first 2 balls, he was struggling to see it. One, he was almost LB. It's only lucky he got an edge on it. And the second one, he tried to pull it out to the leg side and only made it move about 10, 15 metres. The rest of the balls have been short. Surprise, surprise. 2 of them went for edges out for 4 behind the stumps, and The other two have gone straight.
So Jeremy Noonan into the attack. Hunter to face his first ball. Left-handed batter. And he's gone for the big pull shot, but it's wide down the leg side. Fair enough as well.
At least he's got the right idea, but Jeremy's trying to sit there and he's trying to pitch it full. I said, because now you can feel it now. The wind's even shifting again. It's now kind of coming from the scoreboard across to where Matt's car is parked, and he's able to use that to swing naturally.
Oh, and that's a bit of a better ball, but eventually they'll scurry through for a single. And this time it will be the leg by, coming off the thigh guard, I reckon, this time. So Dummer back on strike. He's on 14 out of the 16 runs so far, dominating the strike. 3 boundaries already for him.
But that's not what you need to be doing. You need to be getting it up, getting it full, letting any swing that's in this ball, allow the wind to help push it from that middle and off across to middle and leg like they did for the first couple of balls from Battlewick. And surprise, surprise, it's happened again. Balls hitting them on the pads. They can't get that bat to it because it swings too much.
Noonan again, the right armour. Oh, and this one's
go.
racing through to the keeper outside the off stump. That was some nice pace and bounce and heat on that one by Noonan.
That's pitched and seamed well. That's what you need to be doing. You don't want to be going short. We know all these Sydney Uni players are very good on a short ball. We've seen it in multiple competitions over multiple years. If it's short and they can free their arms, any part of this ground isn't safe.
Noonan again. And this time he's hoiked this one into the offside. Bit of an edge there. He was trying to flick it off his pads, but got no timing at all. No run. This is better by Noonan, just starting to get that bit of pace going, pitching it up. Definitely has a bit of pace as well with his bowling. So no wicket for 17 here. 1.5 overs gone. The wind picks up again. And this time he again just can't get that away as it swings in around that midriff area. He just doesn't have the room to push it away. Cramps him up. Good bowling here by Noonan.
Well, whilst we're in the first couple of overs of this innings, they're in the innings break over at Chatswood Oval at the moment. Sydney Tigers won the toss, decided to bat first, finished with a respectable 7 for 164 off their 20, meaning Gordon needs to score 165 to win and possibly host.
And Dummer this time. Oh, that's a cracking drive there.
Save the legs.
For 4 runs. That's a beautiful shot. The crowd loving it here at University Oval. It's built nicely, this crowd, through the day. And that has no doubt about it, that one. And after 1.5 overs, they're no wicket for 21 with the target of 138. So they're really ticking that run rate along already.
All Dummers had to do there is just plant the foot down the pitch and swing through it, and swing through it he did.
Noonan to complete the over. Oh, that is a ripper. Nice pace there through to the keeper. A little bit of movement off the pitch as well. 2 overs gone, no wicket for 21.
I can see Johnny Di Bartolo, who is keeping there at the moment, having a look at that hand of his, because that one absolutely sizzled through.
What pace do you think? About 130, 135?
Yeah, I'd say around about that. He's not express.
Yeah, still quick though.
But yeah, it's you'd be putting him into the medium fast category. But yeah, that last one. But you always seem to know that if you're a pace bowler and you get tagged for a 4, your next ball is going to be either straight at the body or it's just going to be your real effort ball to try and pitch through. Where we can see Blatherwick's coming back again for his second over after his first one went for 15.
Blatherwick now to Hunter. Just guides this one. Nice little touch there to that man at third man on the rope. Picks up an easiest of singles. Just feeding the strike to Charlie Dummer. Good thinking. Especially in this first 6 overs, if one player has a bit of a surge going, give him all the strike if he can.
Quickly heading down to Hobart, we can tell you that the Sydney Thunder batting first were all out for 135. Coming up to the end of the 10th over, the Hurricanes are 3 for 98.
And this time again, cracked it through the covers. That is a beautiful shot for 4. Rolls over that rope into the old white picket fence next to the hill. That is great batting. This is good stuff here by Sydney University. definitely the favourites, chasing 138, and they're off to a great start. No wicket for 26. And Dummer's already on 22.
That was just absolutely creamed through the pitch there. But going back to the Big Bash game down at Hobart at the moment, it was Darcy Short that was the original wicket faller. Matthew Wade's currently in with Tim David. Matt Wade is 30 off 20. Tim David is 49 off 25.
Yeah.
Once again, Hurricanes 3 for 98. One ball short of the drinks break at 10 overs. Chris Green currently bowling, none for 16 off 2.
So Blatherwick has switched around now to go right arm around the wicket. Driven down the ground, and it's going to beat the fielder at mid-off. They should come back for a second, you would think. Yes, they have, very comfortably.
And a no ball.
And a no ball as well.
3 hits.
And as we know, what batters love, free hit. Probably didn't say it as good as you, Shane, but yeah, good stuff here by Charlie Dummer. Blatherwick is a bit expensive here.
I can tell you now, I know Matt's seen a few of the local Manly T20 sides decide to tee off at some of the grounds like Balgowlah Oval, and when they get the free hit, they clear it by absolute miles.
So Blatherwick now to Dummer, who's on 24, the left-handed batter. Charges down the wicket, smashes it down the ground, and it'll roll away for 4. Down to that long-on part of the field, rolling towards our commentary area up in the grandstand. Beautiful ground here at University Oval. And this is great batting here by Dummer. He's on 28 already. And I reckon he's probably got, what, 6 fours already as well. A couple of top edges, but the other 4 of them have been great cricket shots.
I know this sounds really stupid, and I'm not the captain of this Blacktown Mounties side, but why wouldn't you have someone down on the fence straight and only one behind the either a fine leg or a third man?
And again goes... He's gone, he's caught at long on. Oh, sorry, mid on. So eventually gets his man here, Blatherwick. But that's an explosive start by Dummer. 28 runs and just getting them on the right path. But they get the wicket here. Blacktown Mounties safe as houses. A very easy catch really at mid on. They pick up their first wicket of the day. Sydney University 1 for 33 in the 3rd over.
Okay, I'll take all that back in regards to why you've got one there. But you'd think about it from the balls before that you would be having them. You need to have someone back straight because, okay, fair enough. If you get the edge over the top, fair enough. That's luck. But when you're able to sit there, just plant your foot and drive straight through the line of the ball and being able to score boundaries straight down the ground at will, and you've got no one there outside the circle, it would just seem common sense that you have at least one person coming straight. Almost in the old days, have like a backstop here. You only want to have them, say, 10, 15 metres either side of that sight screen, depending on who the batter is. But
yeah. So Charlie Dummer, 26 off 16 with 6 fours it was. So Damien Mortimer comes to the wicket now. Just remembering Mortimer and Hunter had that great partnership when Sydney University beat Penrith in the semi-final of this Thunder competition. They both got 50s. Hunter got 63 that day, Mortimer got 58. So these are the two that can really get a good partnership and possibly guide this team to the win. They pretty much only need 100 runs now. They're in a great position, but Blacktown Mounties, a few wickets here, and anything can happen in this game of cricket. Here goes Blatherwick. Mortimer, a right-handed batter. And he pushes it at his feet. He'll pick up a single. Good running there just to get himself off the mark. A little bit of sledging here in the Big Bash game.
Yeah, there's a bit of argy-bargy there between Chris Green, David Warner and Matthew Wade at the moment, having the two umpires have to physically come and separate the two sets of players there, which isn't a good look from a Cricket Australia point of view, but obviously they're playing for higher stakes than what we are here, and yeah, someone said something.
Oh, it's a push. Well, it's definitely not the game that we're calling now, but that's a great shot, and that's going to be 4. So nice stuff by Hunter, or will it?
Just short.
Commentator's curse, it's pulled up before the rope. What would you call that in golf?
A mishit?
Yep, I'll go with that. So what, in the end they pick up a couple of runs? Or did they manage to get three in the end?
I'd say it'd be 3. But we'll find that out very shortly. But yeah, that is the commentator's type of curse where you say like, oh yeah, it's going to boundary for 4, and you can just see it slowly running.
It was 3 runs in the end, so let's have a look now. After 3 overs here, Sydney University 1 for 37. A bit of controversy out there in the Big Bash with Matthew Wade and David Warner. Well, no doubt that is going to make some news headlines from what we've just seen on the little screen next to us.
Well, speaking of the Big Bash and Matthew Wade, he's just been caught out on the boundary by Nathan McAndrew off the bowling of Daniel Sams. But we'll get back to this game.
And he's caught behind. Noonan with a great delivery. Hunter's gone. And Blacktown Mounties are into their work. Noonan bowled a good first over, good heat. And eventually he's beaten Hunter for pace here with this sort of 135k quick right arm bowling. Good stuff here by Blacktown Mounties. They're in the game now. Sydney University 2 for 37.
Well, you have to remember Noonan is doing the exact thing that we couldn't see Blatherwick doing. Bowl nice and straight and full and not allow the players to get under it. He puts one probably about an inch short at that time, gets a bit of kick on it, and Hunter's tried to absolutely cream it out through point, and surprise, got a nice healthy edge, which everyone could hear through our effects mic and the frog box mic, and clearly and easily caught behind by Johnny Di Bartolo, taking a great catch. Not a bad effort for a young fella who's still playing first grade cricket at 39.
So Charles Litchfield comes to the wicket now. Blacktown Mounties getting themselves into the game with a couple of wickets.
I wonder if he's any relation to young Phoebe of the Sydney Thunder.
There's a right-handed batter here. Noonan bowling a nice heated spell here. Plenty of pace. Ooh. Oh, beautifully glanced off his legs. Mark War style. They should pick up a couple here to that man in the boundary there at fine leg. They will. Very sharp start there by Litchfield. He's right onto the pace of Noonan, flicking it off the pads. 2 for 39 here in the 4th.
And heading back over to Chatswood Oval for the Sydney Sixers conference final. Sydney Tigers batting first, 7 for 164. Coming up to the end of the first over in the run chase for Gordon. They are none for 5. Axel Kalin is 4.
Oh, and he's beaten him for pace again. I reckon it was up about 138. We don't have the speed gun, but that even had more heat. Noonan trying to inspire his team into this game with his quick bowling.
I'm sure we could get some of the local constabulary around here to allow us to borrow their radar gun for about the next 45 to 50 minutes, because
this is good pace.
Young Noonan is bowling some serious heat.
Here he goes again. Oh, and a bit of a lucky edge to the man down on the boundary in the third man position. They will pick up a single there. This is good stuff by Noonan. He's threatening. As they say in cricket, there's no substitute for pace. Sort of the extra sort of 10 or 15k from the usual bowler in any sort of grade can cause havoc against the batters rushing their shots a bit. It will be Damien Mortimer on strike now, the right-hander. He's on 1. Litchfield's on 3. Noonan 1.4 overs, 1 for 8. Can he get another wicket here when he's bowling with this fire? He's charging in the right armour from that 30-metre circle. Oh, nice ball again to Mortimer. Chance of a run out. If he hits at the bowler's end, he would have been gone. And that's what pressure can do, forcing them to risk a single. 2 for 41.
Talk about having a barbecue and roasting yourself. OMG.
The bowler was backing up.
Yeah, the bowler did. Bowler's done the right thing. The only thing is the fielder in a short cover tried to almost bounce the ball there instead of trying to aim for the base of the stumps.
Oh, nice ball again. Pushed into the backward point area for no run. It's Litchfield back on strike. Very sharp over there by Noonan. And after 4 overs here, Sydney University 2 for 41. Comfortable with the run rate, but Blacktown Mounties here, they know they need a wicket or 2 in this period. Noonan got 1 in that over, and they can get a couple of quick ones here, anything can happen.
The couple of things that we have failed to do today, but we need to also acknowledge the Sydney University Cricket Club for allowing us to be able to come here today to call the game, but also to our friend at Cricket New South Wales in Roy Formica, the competitions manager, for once again allowing us here at Triple H to be able to call these games that we love to do week in, week out, and looking forward to the final next week.
So they're going to stick with Blatherwick, right arm over. Better ball this time.
Better.
Yep, blocked straight back down the pitch to the bowler. Mortimer on strike. So Blatherwick here, he's actually 2.1 overs, 1 for 31, but they're going to stick with him. He batted sensationally here for Blacktown Mounties to give them a score to defend. Can he be the lucky arm here to get Mortimer? Hunter and Mortimer, two of the key batters here for Sydney University. One of them's back in the hut already. And he's bowled him! What a great captain's decision to keep him on, even though he was copping it. That is great stuff here by Blacktown Mounties. That one stayed low. Mortimer's gone for 2, and it's 3 for 41.
Perfectly bowled there, like he did in his first couple of balls in his first over. Pitched it up, kept it in that 3 to 4 foot channel from the stumps. As they would hit on the top of the riding and the McDonald's sponsorship. Obviously, Premier Cricket competitions are sponsored by McDonald's Australia here, and on the red stump wraps that they use. It's probably hit just on the yellow Golden Arches logo, right at the top of middle and off. Looked absolutely perfect. Peach of a ball there. Able to come back and exact some type of revenge on being pounded for the last 2 overs for 31 to be able to get one of those wickets back. But as we said, the Blacktown Mounties side were 3 for not many early. If you take out the runs from Dummer at the moment, you're in the same situation. Take out his 24, 26, I remember correctly. They're 3 for 15, 3 for 17, and it's fairly similar situation. Also time and over-wise too. So
Ryan McElduff to the wicket. So Blatherwick there, the captain, keeping him on for a third over, even though he'd gone for 31 runs off his first 2. Pressure on here, and this point of the match. Again, is that out? I tell you what.
Had to be close.
Nearly run out. And here's some paddock here in the Sydney University ranks. That was great fielding by the man at point, Shane.
Oh, it definitely was.
Throwing the stumps down from side on, nearly a run out.
And to be said, but he hit side on with not even a 0.1 of a second reaction time. It's like pick it and throw to get to where it was, and almost to be able to get McElduff out first ball. That would have been huge for this Blacktown side. So
great tension in this match now. What a great final here in the Thunder Conference. Left outside the off stump, through to the keeper for no run. 4.4 overs gone. Sydney University 3 for 41, remembering the target 138. So they still need another 97 runs. Hope you're enjoying the coverage here on Triple H and Frogbox.
Over at Chatswood Oval, Gordon chasing Sydney's 7 for 164. They've lost their first wicket. They're 1 for 14. Tim Crawford out for 2.
Blatherwick again. What an over. And he's nicked that.
Better.
One bounce through to first slip for no run. He's got his length right. Shane, you've been harping on about it, but ever since he's got that length right, look at this over. I think it's pretty much a wicket made in this over so far with 1 ball left.
It is, but you look at it. Every ball that he's and Matt can probably agree to this as well. If you're a pace bowler, you're told to pitch it up and keep it in that corridor of uncertainty that we keep hearing about. You do that, you don't concede runs.
And again, a nice ball. Chance of a run out again. He would have been gone.
Again.
This is suspense here at University Oval, ladies and gentlemen, as McElduff took off for the run about a quarter of a way down the pitch and had to go back. I need some water now, Matt Mears. Over to you. This game is heating right up.
It certainly is. We're glad that you've joined us for coverage here today. It's the Sydney Thunder Conference final of the Kingsgrove Sports Centre T20 Cup. Sydney University batting at the moment. They said they are 3 for 41 off 5 overs, chasing 137 for victory. Here to see who will take on the winner of that Gordon Sydney Tigers game next Sunday. As again, we see not another change. Noonan to come in again for his third over from that Northern or Sydney University number 2 oval end of University Oval number 1, and he's been having some good wheels. 2.1 overs, 1 for 9. He's certainly shown some fire here. But just a bit of pressure going back onto the students here. Any chase in a final is certainly going to be hard. And again, just short of a length, but rearing up at the batters off that bare patch that's in front of them at this grandstand end of the ground, Shane Evans. And doesn't look very nice to face out there at the moment, does it?
No, it doesn't, but literally about probably maybe 2 foot outside the batting crease, there is a small patch of green just on where you'd be facing with your front leg, and that's pretty much where the ball's hitting at the moment.
Again, it's short of a length, and all Litchfield can do is push it out into the offside.
But no, Noonan is bowling really well here. He's obviously been given a set of plans and instructions by the captain and by the coach as well, and he is doing his best to stick to those plans at the moment. But whilst we're waiting for the next ball to be bowled, a 5th wicket has fallen down at Hobart. Hurricanes 5 for 107, chasing 136. Fahim's just come to the wicket.
Well, again, it's slashed hard by Litchfield. As I said, well stopped by the third man in the other opening bowler of Blatherick. Getting a little bit of curry from the Sydney University faithful here at University Oval number 1, but it came flying through that vacant corner. But he moves on to 4. McElrath on strike. He's yet to score, and just shows the batter maker's name back down the wicket. Great over so far, only 1 off it. 1 ball left here in the power play. And Noonan, 2.5 overs, 1 for 10. He is certainly doing the job for his skipper at the moment. So final delivery here of the power play. McElrath on strike, and he slashes and slashes hard. Doesn't get any wood on that one. And 6 overs down here, 3 for 42. Litchfield on 4. McElrath yet to get off the mark. I said you are listening to Triple H Sports coverage of the Kingsgrove Sports Centre T20 Cup. Whether you're live on 100.1 FM, you're on our sports stream, sports.triplehfm.com.au, or you're on Frogbox, you're coming through the Cricket New South Wales YouTube page. We do welcome you here to our coverage. I said, what a run chase it's still yet to go. 96 required off 15 overs. A place in that Kingsgrove Sports Centre T20 Cup final next Sunday. Up for grabs. That prize money, thanks to our good friend Harry Solomon, a friend of everybody in cricket in Sydney, I feel. I think for what he contributes to this competition, it wouldn't be the same. So we do thank Harry. We thank him for his sponsorship. It is a great coverage, and it's a great competition here as we see a change from this southern or grandstand end of University Oval number 1. Butler to take up the attack. More pace here. This new ball has been doing a bit for Blacktown. Can Butler keep it going? And it's short outside off and cut away hard. The fielder is up about a good 10 metres off the rope there, sweeping on the offside, but he chases well, but still keeps it to only 2. Litchfield moves to 6. 3 for 44 here, 6.1 overs gone.
Yeah, it's an okay start here for Butler. Probably feels that his foot was slipping a little bit as he's coming to the crease, as he's scratching it whilst waiting for the ball to come back. But can't really complain being first ball, a bit of a loosener, but let's see if he gets that into his normal line of length.
So as the wind picks up here again, he comes in for his second delivery. It's on leg stump wide, fumbled by the keeper. They'll come through for one. They pick up two there, and that's very helpful for the students there. They get another delivery, pick up two as well. The umpire is still signalling wide. He doesn't actually come up on the frog box coverage. They do it very zoomed in here at University. It's very zoomed in on the pitch. Anything that sort of happens a couple of metres either side, it doesn't come up, but we will keep you abreast of what is happening here in this big run chase here. Spot in that Kingsgrove Sports Centre final next Sunday up for grabs. I don't know, again, we saw it in the Blacktown innings as well, Shane, that they just try and get a little bat on it, trying to run it down to third man, but this is not the pitch to be trying to do that.
Not when you're batting, or you're facing from the uni number 2 oval end, because that green grass that's there, it'll either sit there and die on you, or you get in that tennis bounce type like as we just saw then, and Johnny Di Bartolo, the keeper, doing marvellously well to stop that from going behind.
Again, this one's pitched up, but gets the inside edge. Not good fielding there from Day, as it goes through his leg. They'll come back for two. No one out there behind him even though the fielder has gone out. Said mid-on and mid-on are up. They're trying to put the squeeze on here, which is fine, but they'll need better fielding than that, Blacktown Mounties.
Yeah. There was nothing wrong with that ball. There's no bad side hop. It's just the fact that Matt Day just did not get down to the ball properly.
So it comes in again here, and it's dropped at short cover. It was hit straight to him, but he's only about 15 metres from the bat. It was
Nathan
hard.
Souter.
But you heard the shot. You heard it through the effects mic. It was straight out of the middle, but I said when you're only defending 136, Shane, you need to take those catches.
You definitely do. I said, but that's Nathan Souter's bread and butter, sitting there in close, and he had 2 shots at it and still managed to come out, unfortunately, for the Blacktown Mounties.
So what can he do now here? He gets a life, does McElder, but this one there's no mistakes made by Day at short mid-wicket. No run there. 3 for 48. 1 ball left in the 7th over here.
Heading back over to Chatswood for the Sixers conference final of the Kingsgrove T20. Gordon, 1 for 36, chasing Sydney Tigers, 7 for 164. Axel Kalin is going off at the moment, 25 of 14, 2 fours, 2 sixes.
Keep you abreast of that game as well, as this one's played nicely on the up.
That's going to stop too.
Oh, it's just pulled in inside the boundary by the fielder and on there. They're trying to put the squeeze on, but making them go over the top. But good running there from the students. As looks like we're going to have a bowling change. The keeper's calling for the helmet.
And if that's the case, then I would almost put money on it. That's Nathan Souter that's going to come on and bowl his little right arm leggies. And from what I've seen of it at county level, but also here in no, I stand corrected. It's not Nathan. It's going to be, looks like Singh, if I remember, if I know my numbers correctly from what Kiwi has written down here. Puru Gore is about to come on and bowl.
Yeah, first overs from spin here for Blacktown Mounties, 3 for
Left
50 off
China.
7. Well said, we saw what Hunter and the spinners did for the students in these middle overs. They're going to need the same Blacktown from their slow bowlers, so from Gore, from Souter. They're really going to have to tire them down here. 88 required off 13 overs. I said they're going to have to put the squeeze on. First delivery here to Litchfield, and he beats Souter at short cover. Picks up the single, 3 for 51.
But if I do my mathematics correctly, we had 88 off 13 overs, so it's basically a run of ball. 88 off 88, or 87 off 87 now. So at least you know the run rate's sitting on 6 or just a tick over it at the moment. We can see Johnny Di Bartolo is just repositioning that field for his bowler.
Well said, it was the spinners that slowed down the run rate in the Blacktown innings, and they need more of that. They've got the field set there. They've got Souter at an extra cover. They've got a cover point and a backward point as well, all trying to cut off that single on the offside. And again, it's good bowling there, just outside off stump, not giving him any room to free the arms.
Ball smothered there by Litchfield, because if he doesn't put some bat on it, he's stumped.
Again, it's coming down the wicket, almost a crowd catch, but being it's the home team, they're not going to go up for that one. One bounce back to the bowler, but some good dot balls here, getting through the over quickly. This one again is played outside off stump, cut well, but there is a fielder covering out on the boundary there. We'll cut it off to 1. 3 for 52 here, 1 ball left in the 8th.
The only thing that would worry me if I was a batter, just beside the side screen, you can see there's a white four-wheel drive, and the sun's glaring straight off it into the batter's space.
Well, it's not doing much for McElder. It's hitting his middle of the bat, but he can only find fielders. Great start there from Gore. He only gets 2 off his first over, and it's 3 for 52 off 8. McElder on 5, Litchfield on 7.
Good start there by Gore. But as we said, we saw Dylan Hunter and McElder and themselves bowling their spin, and was able to restrict the runs for Blacktown to score, and Gore's done the exact same thing to only go for 2. Where, just quickly going back through the team list, it looks like you're going to have Brendan Butler about to come back on and bowl his second over after his first one went for 8.
Yeah, he's coming in to Litchfield, and they know they're going to have to try and push the run rate here. He tries to go big, but can only find Souter at short cover, no run. It's you were saying, Shane, it was 6 runs and over before the start of the previous over. They only got 2 off it. That run rate required starts to climb. I said it's manageable at 6, but where does it get before it becomes unmanageable in a game like this?
I'll answer that after this ball.
Well, I said the Blacktown, the field is coming in, pressuring him here, and gets the top edge over to the keeper's head. 4 runs, no one down there. The fielder at third man couldn't get round in time.
That's just lucky from the uni point of view, because that ball could have gone anywhere. Could have gone straight up, could have went to any one sets of hands there. But in regards to run rate at this level, for having 3 down, I'd say once you start getting to about 8.5, 9, would be starting to be considered difficult.
So as Butler comes in again here, and again he's trying to keep up with that run rate. He gets past the fielder inside the circle. So a little bit of a sweep there for the fielder that's sweeping out at mid-wicket. Said it is a little bit bare out in some of those patches right out near the boundary rope, but they do pick up 2. Litchfield moves to 13. But I think Litchfield showing the right intent here. He wants to keep the scoreboard ticking over. I said if the ball's there to hit, they need to hit at the students. As this one goes up again big, and it drops just short of the fielder at third man. They pick up a single, but I think his theory so far, Shane, is just to try and hit big, and that if he gets a big bit of wood on it, it's not going to go through to the keeper. But I do like the intent here from Litchfield.
Yeah, he's just wanting to try and hit runs, and where he's probably looking at thinking, well, if I can make 30 off 15 or 30 off 20, it helps my team out, then I get out, hey, so be it.
Said McElder now on strike, and he gets one up in the block hole, but he places it well. They look for 2, but good fielding from the fielder at long on, cuts them off for a single. They are working hard in the field here, Blacktown Mounties, which they need to do to try and build the pressure.
Speaking of pressure, going back to the game out at Chatswood Oval, Axel Kalen has just been dismissed for 26, 251, chasing 165 to progress to the final.
So this one again up in the block hole. Good bowling from Butler to finish his over, but 8 runs from it. He's got 2 overs, none for 16, and Sydney University 3 for 60 off 9, chasing 137, 78 required off 11. So 78 off 66.
Starting to push up towards that 7 and over now, but okay, the first over from Gore was a good start. He now needs to be able to come back and do the same type of thing, possibly take a wicket or restrict them to probably 1 or 2 runs as well, because the further they can get that runs to balls difference in their favour will be obviously very beneficial.
Well, again, he's come back for his second over here. He's just missed Souter at short cover. It was in the air, it was teasing him, but it did make ground before it reached him, and they will pick up another one to the total. 3 for 61. As he gets through his overs quickly here, the left arm spinner, and it's bowled him, has it? No, yes, I don't know what's going on there.
It looks more like the ball's got through and Di Bartolo's tried to make the stumping, but he's able to get his foot down just in time.
It must have just missed the stumps. We're trying to look at the footage here on the Frog Box. I think it's just missed off stump. I don't know how. But again, he tries to cut it away on the offside. Finds Souter at short cover, no run. Good start to the over so far. Can he back it up here? Next delivery comes in, and that's bowled him. That's taken middle stump, and he's trying to back away, give himself some room, cut it through the offside. But I think almost a quicker ball there from the left arm orthodox that's beaten Litchfield there. He goes for 14. Pressure on now for the students. 4 for 61. Only a couple of deliveries left here in the 10th over, Shane.
You said it perfectly there, Mearsy. You tried to step away to the leg side just to free the arms open and be able to push it through the offside. Unfortunately, it's hit halfway up middle stump there, and you could see that Gore was excited. Obviously, the pressure was starting to get Litchfield to bowl 10 balls and have 7 dots, including that wicket for Gore is a good start for any bowler in the game at the moment. But unless I'm mistaken, this should be the captain in Tim Cummins about to walk out, and we saw that he tried to lead by example in the grand final last season against Ramsey Petersham. Almost was able to get them across the line.
Yeah, he played a big innings as well in the semi-final, so as I said, it's probably not the situation he wants to come in 4 for 61, but as I said, it's been some good bowling here from the left arm orthodox as Cummins faces his first delivery, and he tries to ramp the first one, and he's gone. All he can do is find the keeper first delivery, probably not the shot he needed to play. But wow, the captain goes for a golden duck. 5 for 61. Is the fairy tale on, Shane Evans?
It is, but also the fact is, Tim's walked.
Well, he was,
Beat Sadowitz has not even raised a finger.
I don't think he needed to.
No, but normally, even if it is an absolute given, most batters will at least wait to see a finger being raised or stop and then look around to get that thing. But you can see Tim, what he's trying to do is get that little lap shot over the keeper's head there. But now Gore, you look at it this way, he's gone from having 7 dots out of the first 10 to now possibly being on a hat trick.
Well, he is on a hat trick,
going into the drinks break.
Yeah, well, as I said, final delivery of the 10 overs. Kiwi Mick will be back with you for over number 11, but we have a hat-trick warning. I don't know, we don't have any sound effects here, unfortunately, but this is a huge delivery here. Gauchi's the new batter coming in at number 7. But this is an absolutely huge delivery. 5 for 61, still needing 77 to win here, the students. So the fairy tale for Blacktown Mounties is certainly on here. Don't touch that dial. Don't touch your phone or your computer or wherever you're watching this game on Frogbox. It is going to go down to the wire as hat-trick delivery is left outside off stump by Gauchi. 10 overs gone here. Sydney University Oval number 1, 5 for 61. The students from Sydney University needing 77 to make that Kingsgrove Sports Centre T20 Cup final next Sunday. And to take you through the next 5 overs, Kiwi Mick Reinish.
Yeah, what a dramatic match this is.
You know, as soon as Kiwi walks away, everything seems to happen. Whether it's just luck or he's just a jinx, who knows? But wickets have fallen whilst Kiwi's had his 5 overs off. Quickly before
I don't know about that, Shane. I tell you, you want me to fire up? No, joke. Just kidding.
But quickly before Nathan Souter bowls the 11th over, we can tell you the Sydney Thunder have been defeated by 5 wickets by the Hobart Hurricanes in the Big Bash game down in Hobart.
Here goes Souter. What a dramatic match this is, and it's guided away here to that vacant third man area. They try to come back for a second there. The man in close had to race to get it.
That would have been suicide.
And it's 5 for 62 here in the 11th, so they need 76 of 59 deliveries. Blacktown Mounties have chipped away, and they've got the danger man out. McElduff in on 8. Jordan Gauchi yet to score.
This is a good idea here. They've put Matt Day into a very close first slip because they're looking to play that little glide shot down past Di Bartolo with the keeper's gloves on, probably straight into Matt Day's hands.
Oh, and he respectfully leans forward and pushes this back to the bowler. So Nathan Souter here just to rattle through these overs with his spin. Right arm leg spin, flights this one up, pushes it down the ground, does Gauchi. They'll pick up the easiest of singles to that man at long on. Bit of a juggle there in the end by Puru Gore, who's bowled outstandingly today. And our back on strike will be McElduff now.
I don't think that Souter's going to really mind giving up 1 run there at the moment. Because at the moment that plus minus toward in the run rate is definitely in the favour of Blacktown.
Souter flights it up. Oh, he dances down the wicket and flicks it off his legs. An unusual sort of a shot there by McElduff. He'll move through to 9. But Blacktown Mounties here with some brilliant bowling. Of course, early on by Noonan. Puru Gore's been great with his spin, and Souter with a nice opening up here with his first over. This one pushed again to the man on the fence at long off. A single here for Jordan Gauchi. So they need 73 of 55 deliveries.
The way that it's going at the moment, if you were the Blacktown Mounties, you'd be bowling Gore out and just bowl Souter from this end.
Oh, and he's played this late, but that man right in close there on the 45-degree angle. The Blacktown Mounties fans behind us clapping after every over here. They have some great momentum, and they've got Sydney University 5 wickets down. How important is that innings all of a sudden by Blatherwick, where he pretty much saved Blacktown Mounties to give them something to defend, Shane?
Well, at the moment he is that difference, but also you have to remember when you got to the 10 over break when Blacktown were batting, they were 4 for 56. So it's fairly similar at the moment. I'm not going to ask about Kiwi Viz. I will at the end of the over though.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for the update with that one. And again, it's Gore with a nice length ball pushed into the offside. He's 2.1 overs, 2 wickets for 3 runs, left arm spin. Rattling through the over. Here he goes to the right-handed batter. Pushes it back to the nearly caught and bowled. Will they get a single? Oh, that would have been out if he hit as well. It's all happening here at University Oval. What a Thunder Conference final we have on our hands as Puru Gore is trying to outdo Devlin Malone pretty much in the spin stakes. It'll be McElduff on strike on 9 now. Flights it up, goes down the wicket.
Just
almost
landed,
for a minute there.
Just landed short.
Brilliant one-handed catch. This is great cricket.
That's landed about maybe 3 or 4 inches short of his hand for a caught and bowled.
Good fielding anyway. Pushes this into the onside, no run. They're strangling them here, Blacktown Mounties. Sydney University in their one-day match yesterday against St George got bowled out for about 95, so they are coming off a bit of a shaky one yesterday, just quietly. As he dances down the wicket and pushes this to the man at long off. No one is moving from their seat. Sydney University fans in the gallery have gone extremely quiet on our left-hand side.
When you think about out of the 16 balls bowled, those runs have been all singles that he's conceded.
Here he goes again to Jordan Gauchi. Flights it up again, just pushed down the pitch to the bowler. Superb stuff by Gore. He is 3 overs, 2 wickets for 5. Brilliant stuff. 12 overs gone. Sydney University 5 for 67. They need 71 of 48 deliveries. Kiwi Viz here. Well, Blacktown Mounties 54, Sydney University 46. It's close.
Oh, you're not even thinking of a possible super over.
No,
Nice.
not going to happen.
But Nathan Souter's come back and bowled.
We don't want the car smashed anymore. No, hasn't been smashed yet. But
Nathan Souter come back to bowl his second over.
flights it up. Deflects it. It's hit back to the bowler who deflects it. It will be fielded by the man at long off who races in from the fence. So Sydney University here just got to hold their nerve. You feel if they can get probably another 20, 30 runs here without losing a wicket, it might just settle them down, but it's anyone's game. Here he goes again, right arm spin. Hit down the ground nicely to the man, racing around into the long on area of the field. They will pick up a single, just trying to rotate the strike. Nathan Souter, 1.2 overs, no wicket for 6. McElduff on 11, Jordan Gauchi on 4. 5 for 69 in the 13th.
Ooh.
Goes down the wicket, could this be stumped? Just a little bit late on it there was Di Patoli. Gee, that would have been a massive wicket, that one.
Well, let's see. It was just unlucky that the ball just didn't come through clean to Di Bartolo there. It would have been a 6th wicket, and what does that say? They need 69 off
45 deliveries. Yeah. And they are racing through these overs. They're trying to get it done here, Blacktown Mounties. Would this be a huge fairy tale if they can win the Thunder Conference? Goes down the wicket into the onside, and it's going to be 4.
He has not judged that.
Yeah, the fielder's misjudged it.
He's come looking straight for it, and if he had taken one step to his right, it sits right on the club logo of his shirt, and it would have been an easy catch, but he's totally misjudged that, unfortunately.
McElduff moves to 15. They had to sort of break the shackles. Here goes Souter again. Again, driven nicely through the covers. Will they pick up a couple here? They race back, they throw to the bowler's end, and they will pick it up. This is better by McElduff. He's been around a while, and he moves through now to 17. 5 for 75 here. They need 63 off 43 deliveries.
But still, it's good to have that plus 20 odd differential in the Blacktown favour at the moment.
Goes down the wicket again. That's driven nicely. So McElduff just starting to find some touch here, get a bit of rhythm. The crowd's woken up again on our left-hand side. Interesting. And 13 overs gone here. Anyone's game. Sydney University 5 for 76. They need 62 off 42 deliveries.
Heading back over to Chatswood Oval for the Sydney Sixers conference final in the Kingsgrove T20. Sydney Tigers batting first, 7 for 164, fairly respectable total, but in reply, Gordon after 9 overs, 2 for 75, Crawford run out for 2, Axel Kalin out caught for 26, Dane Mackay not out 30, Newton not out 20 at the moment. 2 for 75 off.
Oh, and he's nearly been caught on the offside as we just quickly get back to the action. Gore flights it up again. He's deceiving these batters left, right and centre. He's 3.1 overs, 2 for 6 now.
Unfortunately there for Nathan Souter again. These two, him and Gore, seem to have this almost kinetic connection, but just missed it shortly.
Gauchi goes down the wicket. He's gone. He's gone. That's stumped. Brilliant stuff. Gore puts the arms up in glory sort of a position like Rambo after winning a knockout fight. And that is sensational bowling by the spinner. He's tied them up in knots and eventually he's got him stumped. Jordan Gauchi has to go, Shane, and it's 6 for 77. They still need another 61 runs here. Blacktown Mounties, great bowling and fielding.
Definitely was there, but Di Bartolo Johnny would almost say that he got lucky with that one because he didn't grab it properly and had to almost just knock it onto the stumps there. But Gauchi had absolutely given himself up a couple of steps down the pitch, wasn't able to get back and was just hoping that the ball didn't hit the stumps. But I said not too bad for a 39-year-old to be able to run around and still play at a respectable first grade level and take a run out. That's going to be the question. Will they class it as a stumpy? Will they class it as a run out?
Yep.
Because of the fact that he's taken a couple of steps and then has started to move forward again. don't be surprised the scorebook will actually show it as a run out, not a stumping.
So Maladay comes to the wicket, the opening bowler normally for the Sydney University team, and he's got a field of heat. Puru Gore with some sensational spin bowling, and they are 6 for 77. They need 61 off 40 deliveries. Crowd a bit quiet now. Pushed into the offside, they'll take the man on for the single and they'll get home easily. Nice work by Maladay. So McElduff back on strike. He's on 19. He's ditched the helmet and just wearing the hat now. Of course, Blacktown Mounties bowling predominantly spin. And he's on 19. You might have to be there at the end for them to win it. Goes for the cut shot, straight to the man at point. One bounce, no run through. Throws it back to the bowler. The Blacktown Mounties fans behind us clapping every dot ball. Now it's getting to that sort of point of the game. Great final here in the Thunder Conference. Ooh. And again, he dances down the wicket. Di Bartolo there, Shane. I can't explain what he's done there. He's almost done the slip and slide on the water slide on Christmas Day. No, except he's 39.
No, it's very simple. Johnny, replace your divots. If you're trying to play soccer, it's a good swan dive, but no.
Yellow card.
Yeah, simulation I'd give, but no. But Gore is bowling really, really well here, keeping these runs to singles.
Oh! And this one spun a mile. What a great spell by Puru Gore. 4 overs, 2 for 8. Sensational. 14 overs gone here. Sydney University, 6 for 79. He deserves that standing ovation. And they need, all of a sudden, they need 59 off 36 deliveries with only 4 wickets left.
Okay, now, so I'm just trying to work out my mathematics. So they've obviously given that as a run out because
he hasn't got his third
it's a stump. There should have been a third wicket.
Yeah.
But I know Matt's got the scoreboard sitting in front of us. Have they actually classed it as a run out, or
yes,
they have
on the Play HQ live score? They've done it as
a run out. Okay, that's why he's only got 2 for.
Souter again to McElduff. Pushes it into the onside where there's plenty of space. They're going to come back for a second here. Oh, and that would have nearly been out at the striker's end.
Yeah, the keeper
would have been a close one.
Look at the keeper there. He's saying that he's running him off the ball, and they're appealing for obstructing the field.
Matt Day's appealing for obstruction for the field
because you could see the curve of his run.
But look at this now. Umpire Moran is now walking across to beat Sajewicz. He's asked for the ball. I will almost put money on it. They're gonna give him out because you cannot run directly in front of the line of the ball, which is what has happened. But it looks like they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt there.
Yeah. But you did see the curve in his run though when he
if you change your line, we're meeting, aren't we? If you change your line,
you can't change your run.
Yep.
If you get in the way because that's the way you're running, fair enough.
Yep.
But yeah, you can't change your line like that. So that's interesting.
He's probably also going to be warned for that now too. If he does it again, then they will give him out.
McElduff on 22. Key man here. Souter flights it up, dances down the wicket, flicks it into the onside. Will they go for a second again? Yes, they will. Chance of a run out again, but no. There might be an overthrow. And now the University fans are on their feet. Will they come back for a fourth? I need to take a breath again. Goodness me, it's all happening here at University Oval. Hope you're enjoying the coverage on Triple H and Frogbox. What a way to spend a Sunday. The cobwebs are gone here in the commentary box for me.
To be honest, if I'm one of the fielders that's down here at long off and in cow, come up 15 metres. So you're midway between that 30-yard circle and the fence.
It's not a huge hit straight. Like if you think you're going to be trying to stop a 6, you'd rather be cutting off the 2.
Yeah, that's why I said come up probably another 10 metres. At worst, concede the single. A single is for Blacktown is good because they're still around that plus 20 odd.
South and out of Maladay. They're going to take on a cheeky little single to that man in close behind point. Nice work, feeding the strike to McElduff, who's on 25. So they're 6 for 85 here. They need 53 off 33 deliveries. 4 wickets left.
As I said, they're still plus 20 for Mounties. They need to be stretching that out again.
Goes down the wicket again. McElduff looking solid. Just eases through for the single. What a finish we have in the last 5 overs. Matt Mears will be taking you through that. I'll definitely probably stay on the commentary for these ones as well.
You got to help me through it.
All right.
there is to be no Dom
I'll do what I can.
No Dom Rizzuto jersey flag issues.
Maladay. 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 4. What a shot! He smashes it for 4 on the onside. Fortune favours the brave, and he's unleashed there out of nowhere for a boundary. 6 for 90, 1 ball left in the 15th.
You have to feel that Maladay has to go. McElder, if he's been there long enough, he has to bat the innings, but whoever's out there needs to take that scoreboard pressure off. And if there's balls there to hit, they need to hit no matter that they're 6 wickets down.
Maladay pushes it into the offside. No run. The man in too close. Good fielding again. So 15 overs gone here. Sydney University 6 for 90. They need 48 off 30 deliveries. Over to you, Matt Mears.
Well, thanks, Kiwi Mick. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, thank you for listening to the Triple H Sport coverage of the Sydney Thunder Conference Final, not the Sixers, the Thunder Conference Final between the students and Blacktown Mounties here on Triple H 100.1 FM, sports.triplehfm.com.au, and Frogbox New South Wales Cricket YouTube channel. As it's coming down to the wire. Shane Evans, do Sydney University prevail? Does the fairy tale of Blacktown Mounties keep going? We will know in 5 overs time.
To answer your question on that, I'm gonna do like our podcast has. I'm gonna sit on the fence and probably get a few splinters at the moment, but quickly whilst we're waiting for this next over to be bowled from
Ravel will come into the attack after Gore finishes 4 overs, 2 for 8. So they want to keep the slow bowling on. It is working.
Up at Chatswood Oval, Sydney Tigers batting first, 7 for 164. In reply, Gordon had just lost their 3rd wicket, Newton being caught for 29. They are 3 for 87, starting the 12th over.
We'll keep you up to date there as first delivery to McElder finds the fielder at short cover. No run there. Good start. As I said, I'm sure they'll be going pace off as much as they can. It has worked in this game in both innings as he comes down again, but it's well cut off. But in the gap between point and backward point, they pick up another single. 6 for 91 here, 47 required.
At the moment, you're happy to give up a single every couple of balls as long as you can stop the 2s and stop the 4s, and
if they can
go for a bit of 6.
Well, I'm sure they'll be happy to go 5 or 6 and over, not 8 or 9 and over, as Maladay can only find backward point.
Tight bowling again. A lot of left arm off spinners in this match, isn't there? There's been obviously Gore, Raval and Dylan Hunter.
Well, Gore's bowling right arm somethings, but not left arm. But Dylan Hunter for the students bowled really well, left arm orthodox. So it has been the slow bowlers that are making it hard for the batters, particularly in these later overs. There's 2 balls left, only 1 run so far, and it's drawn the big shot from Maladay, but he only finds the fielder at deep mid wicket.
That is what
the single.
That is what you call a classic hoik. That's all it was there.
But that's what he needs to do. He needs to take the pressure off. He needs to take the pressure off. He needs to find the boundary, because McElder, he needs to bat through now. So,
and you got Nathan Souter out there, what we normally would call cow corner, to stop that from happening too.
I said, good tricky shot by McElder. Not a lot on it, but there's no one down here behind square.
It'll slow up too.
The fielders had to come around from back.
He's got him!
Straight hit!
He's given him!
Whoa! What a throw from the fine leg boundary. He's had to run from backward point down to the boundary. They've come back for 3, and he's hit the stumps direct. What a big play in this final! What a big play, Shane Evans, and that's 7 wickets down now.
Maladay had the right idea, because from all you had was you had a 3rd man. He had no one around until backward square. Try and get that little lap shot come down. It's fallen about probably 3 or 4 foot short. I can see from my vantage point where his feet have plugged as he's going to pick it up. and thrown it straight on the turn. As soon as he's picked it, he's pinged it, and it's hit halfway up middle stump on one bounce.
Yep.
That is just almost perfection for a fielder, and to say that he is over the moon with that is an understatement. He is absolutely going ballistic happy sitting down here at the moment. You can hear him talking his side up at the moment. I can't tell, but Kerry, you've got the team list, but it's jersey 56 that made that throw then, and it was absolutely
It was Singh. It was
in-course Singh.
That was.
But I tell you what, one of the
perfect.
things with that fielding, he sprinted hard to get the ball, didn't he? Like, he not just ran, he sprinted. And that was the little difference it made to get that sort of marginal out or not out call.
Is the fairy tale going to happen?
I don't know. Well,
at the moment, my Kiwi biz would be, I'm going to assume that it's going to be more Blacktown than Uni at
definitely.
the moment.
Well, Souter now will continue to McElder if he's still there as first delivery pushed down to that man Singh at long off. They pick up 1 to the total. Malone is the new batter coming in at number 9 for the students. He's got a big job here now to try and steer his team home.
Well, he's going to have to at the moment. The scoreboard's even shook up at the moment. It hasn't actually caught up to realise that there's been a change of.
Lucky. I never thought I'd be saying this, but lucky we do have Play HQ here.
Play HQ's been pretty accurate today and fast, isn't it?
Yeah, it's done the job for us. Malone faces his first delivery and he just swats it down the ground. They can only pick up another single.
At the moment, I do not think Blacktown give a concern if they give up a single.
No, well, 7 for 96.
What's that? 46 off. Okay, so 3.
Well, that's not up to date.
No, 3.4.
Well fielded. Well fielded inside the circle. They still take a run, but I'm sure that Blacktown Mounties will take that rather than the alternative of it beating him and they picking up a couple. But I said singles aren't going to win it here for the students.
They need a circuit breaker, don't they?
They do. But Souders bowled well in this over and he's tried Malone to hoik it away, but again, he can only find the fielder at long on.
4 singles for the Blacktown club. You're loving this at the moment. You're still around that plus 20 differential on behalf of the Mounties side at the moment with 3.2 overs remaining.
Yeah, well, McElder knows he needs to go big, and that's 6. That's that circuit breaker you were talking about. He's been able to just poke it over that rope at long on.
Tell you what, there's similarities here with the position they're in compared with Blatherwick and what McElduff's trying to do. Probably won't get to 50, but he's trying to get them home.
He certainly is. Souter's got 1 delivery left in his 4 overs, none for 34. Again, he's tried to swing hard at that one, McElder. If he can only find the fielder at point there, he's only 15 metres from the bat. So that dots him up. Souter's now done. He's bowled his 4 overs for 34. And it's 7 for 104 off 17. So they need
34 off 18.
Yeah, 33 off 18, chasing 137. It's still a huge total. It's still a huge ask.
11 and over, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even allowing for that 6, it still gives them a plus 15, which is still seen, even at Big Bash level, it's still seen to be manageable. That's normally when you're only like 3 or 4 down, but to be 7 down.
Well, Raval will come in for his second over to Malone, and he cuts it out to the fielder, sweeping in the covers, and it's just another single. 7 for 105 here, but
exactly what Kiwi said. McElduff is the key. If he goes, then the fairy tale will continue.
Well, he's 37 off 39, so he's going to have to hit the accelerator here. What can he do? This one's short and outside off stump. He cuts and cuts hard, but it takes the outside edge. Will it make it to the boundary? No! Great chase it again. They'll pick up 3, but that should have been 4. Blacktown Mounties, they're up for this. They know the fairy tale is still on. That place in that Kingsgrove T20 final next Sunday, they've still got one hand on that. So, as I said, great piece of fielding, even though it only saved one. But more importantly, it gets Malone back on strike.
Hasn't Singh's fielding been great? And this pressure at the end of the game, he's done a run out and a great save. Everyone counts.
Yeah, I said it's been great work here. They need to be on in the field here, defending such a low total. But what can Malone do now that he's back on strike and he can just hoik it again? But again, he just finds the fielder at long off. 7 for 108.
Also,
7 for 109. My apologies. With
also quickly out of Chatswood Oval. 4th wicket down for Gordon, 4 for 101, chasing 165 for the win.
Oh, McElrath again tries to go big down the ground, but finds the fielder. I believe they've put 2 up for that last shot from Malone. Maybe the scoreboard's out by 1, but we can only go what's off Play HQ, and he's giving a 2 off that for that. It's given 2 for that delivery when quite clearly it was Malone hitting 1 down the ground. So we'll keep an eye on that one. But Malone is back on strike. What can he do here? He again goes straight. There's no one behind the bowler. They'll look for 2. They come back.
Out.
Oh, again, it was so close to hitting those stumps direct from the outfield. I think McElrath would have been gone, but it just bounces. It's like it came off the edge of the square and bounced over the top of the stump, Shane Evans.
It's true, because we're sitting here, we've got perfect view watching it from the far end of the field, and you're just watching that ball just curl ever so slightly on the throw. The throw was on line, but that last couple of feet, it's trailed across to what we would have to say is the scoreboard side of the ground here. And it's just come a bit short, and that allowed it to bounce just over the top of the stumps.
Well said, they need more from Malone here. 26 still required for the students, and again just swipes it down the ground. He'll be on strike for the next over, and going by the scoreboard, 18 overs gone, 12 deliveries left, 7 for 113. They need 25 off 2, Kiwi Mick.
Yep. Blacktown Mounties 70.
Oh.
Sydney University 30.
I said it's
I
not.
think they've got it, yeah.
It's
20. Control.
I think the fairy tale's on, but the students aren't out of this at all.
Yeah,
the question will be is, if you're McElduff and you're in there for the last over, how many runs are you wanting to be chasing on that last over?
Yeah, this is always the important over.
Yep.
Over number 19 in T20 matches is almost more important now than the 20th, because it is how much do you leave for that last over, particularly now with Malone on strike. I'm sure that McElrath will get back on strike and for the rest of this one, and
this will be
here
interesting.
we go, Blatherick to come back for his 4th and final over after we saw what he did to get Blacktown Mounties to that position. But if they can get 15 off this over, and they only need 10,
then they'd almost be favourites.
Question is,
this is why we love T20 cricket.
Yeah.
The question is, does Noonan have an over left, or is he out?
Noonan does have 1 over as well.
Okay, so you
would assume he would bowl over 20.
You're going to Bloodwick bowl now, and if Noonan's got, say, 15 or 16 to work with, he'll come in and finish it off. But you know that they're going to come out and try and chase anything. Where I can see Nathan Souders down here at long on at the moment, just having a chat with one of the non-playing teammates, and he's literally standing a couple of feet inside that boundary rope, because if Malone wants to try and lift one to get that 2, he's going to have to lift it fairly high.
You got to look at the targets for Malone. There's no one back between third man and mid-wicket. There's only 2 inside the circle behind the umpire. Will he try and go down there? But no, great bowling to be on the wide line, but it gets it past the man at short cover, and they'll pick up 2.
He'd cop that. He's bowled it where he's wanted to, and to be honest, if it doesn't get stopped on the circle, that's 4. you cop 2 runs there without even batting an eyelid.
Well, that's his field, because he said he's got a deep point and a third man down on the boundary. He's got 2 at cover on the ring, long on, long off, deep mid wicket, and then he's got a square leg and a fine leg both inside the circle. So you'd have to think he'd have to go full and wide with this field, but he goes short, and it goes off the top edge, and that's 4. You can't bowl there with this sort of field.
He's bowled short again, hasn't he? Like he was earlier in the spell.
That's exactly what caused him all his runs to be conceded early.
Yep.
Don't bowl short. If anything, try and dig it in that 2-foot channel in front of the stumps.
He's been probably edged for about 4 fours, I reckon.
Yeah, but again, the short stature as well from Malone, so anything that's even back of a length is going to be high. He swung hard, took the edge, and went down to the boundary behind the keeper for 4. They've moved third man.
I'd be more honestly,
straighter towards that.
I'd be almost looking like a Jeff Thompson. Aim to hit the shoes. You need to be down that level because you can't get any elevation.
I don't think so. I think if he gets on the toes, it's too easy to go to the leg side, but that's a better ball. Oh. But he kicks the gap between the 2 covers and hits it for 4. Where's this come from the number 9? He's tried to find that wide Yorker again, which is where he needs to be, but it was half volley length. There's only about 5 metres between the 2 fielders. He's found it, and it's gone to the boundary for 4. All of a sudden, it's 15 from 9, 7 for 123.
I still think getting closer to the stumps is better than going wide and full, because.
But then he needs to set his field for that. As he has changed his field, one of the covers has gone to point inside the circle,
and then
the points come to cover out on the boundary. But he needs to know what plan he wants to execute here. But it was don't take anything away from Malone. Great shot for 4. Yeah. Where's this one going to be? It's a full toss. And it's just been under-edged out onto the leg side. They pick up a single. Big cheers here from the Sydney University faithful. 7 for 124. 14 off 8 required.
Just whilst we're waiting for the next ball from Breathitt to be bowled, currently, Gordon are 4 for 118, chasing 165 for the win. In their game, they are 1 ball into the 16th over. So 46 off just under 5 overs. At Gordon, playing second deck closest to the train line, that's very possible.
Well, I said we've had 2 great finals so far here. I said we're privileged to call this one here at University Oval number 1. 14 off 8 required. McElrath now back on strike. What can he do to get off on the final as he cuts and cuts hard behind point? They've moved the third man straighter, but he gets around. They'll come back for 3. No, they won't. Great throw there.
Fielding.
Great fielding there. They'd moved the third man more towards the side screen because of that top edge. He had to run hard, but he cut off in a 2-run save there.
12 off 7.
If Noonan's bowling the last over, you'd be wanting to give him at least 10 to work with. I think he's only gone for like 11 in his other 3 overs.
He did. He's 3 overs, 1 for 10. Is Jeremy Noonan from his spell inside the power play. So
if you can give him 10, he'll probably save it for you.
What can McElrath do? He'll want to find the boundary at a bare minimum here. He goes straight down the ground. They'll look for 2, but no, well sent back there. He'll want the strike. 11-run need off 6
this
here.
Is great.
This is what we love about T20 cricket.
I've been missing this. I really have.
We've had a few blowouts here on Triple H's coverage.
No, I've just got to be careful here because there's now been a massive issue. The player in jersey 43 has just run straight past Blithewick and collided with him.
Oh.
Does it need to happen? No, it doesn't. But you can now see that umpire Moran is just sitting there. Had a quiet word to one of the staff members who's just coming back off the field with the water, and also to, I'm going to assume it's Malone, McElrath sitting there just saying, mate, it's last day of a game. Don't do anything stupid.
Noonan's definitely bowling the last.
Yeah.
Certainly is. As I said, if you're just tuning in, boy, have you picked a time to tune in. You are listening to Triple H Sports coverage of the Sydney Thunder Conference final of the Kingsgrove Sports Centre T20 Cup. 11 required off 6 deliveries. You're listening here on 100.1 FM, sports.triplehfm.com.au, and the Cricket New South Wales YouTube channel. Frogbox coming live here. As I said, a place in that Kingsgrove Sports Centre T20 Cup final next Sunday on the line.
Question for you after this ball, Kiwi.
As Noonan comes in, first delivery to McElder. If he pushes it away, they'll run the single straight to point. They won't mind that. Blacktown Mounties, 10 off 5. Can the fairy tale happen?
Kiwi Viz, does it include a super over?
Yeah, I'm going to go Sydney University 50, Blacktown Mounties 49, super over 1.
Oh, I still think that last over from Souter, there was a 2 that was given as a 1.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
So there was a 1 that was given as a 2, but I'm going to take the scorers on this. They're more on the ball than us up here in the commentary box. But Malone here, he swings and swings, but
what
a time to bowl a wide.
No.
That was a wide.
Definitely a wide.
It swung over the top of his body.
I don't know.
As you're swinging across, your body's allowed to. Your body extends out where the bat is.
We can bring it back up here on Frogbox, Shane Evans.
Mate, I'm more than happy for it.
We're watching the replay here.
If he swung around it, he's where the bat is.
No, that's a wide.
Yep.
Very much a wide. Oh, Malone picks this one up, and it goes over square leg. They'll look for 2. No, he's sent back. I think a wise decision.
8 off 4.
Yeah.
Sure ball.
What a finish.
7
Don't
for
go anywhere,
130.
listeners.
7 for 130 here, the students. McElder on 43, but Malone 20. Where did that 20 come from? He's certainly doing the job coming in at number 9, but there's still a twist left in this game. I can feel it in my what do they say, my bones, in my waters? I don't know, but 8 off 4 deliveries for the students. Is the fairy tale still on? Noonan comes into McElder and he slashes it away. It goes to the boundary. 4 off 3 required. Boy, what a finish we've got here at University Oval number 1. 7 for 134.
Well, Kiwi's going to be right, and he says if McElder
stays in,
he's going to do a Broderick on him, and he's going to...
It's very similar innings, aren't they? The sort of contrast with both innings.
Yeah. Blacktown Mounties.
And he's trying to get to 50 at the end of the sort of game as well, you know?
A four wins it for him, but also gets him to 50.
Yeah, well said. Blacktown Mounties 8 for 137 off their 20 overs. Sydney University 7 for 134. 9.3. 3 deliveries left. 4 runs required. McElder on 47 not out. He's facing Noonan. He plays it down the ground. He takes the single, but there's a misfield. That's pressure for you. He comes back for 2. 2 off 2 required.
That gave shivers down my spine.
Now
He'll be regretting that one overnight, that fielder, wouldn't he?
Now
that'll haunt his dreams.
Now this, to be honest, if I'm captain Blacktown, all my boundary riders, I'm bringing them halfway into the circle.
Wouldn't you bring everyone up now?
You would think so.
Yeah.
I think they're looking at that now. You can see Long On coming up inside the circle.
Yeah, but they're keeping the 2 behind us, the 2 in front of us here. Bring them up.
I don't know,
You'd rather concede a single and take to super than concede 2 and lose.
Well, McElder's on strike. What's going to happen here? Gets the outside edge. Oh.
Concede a single to super.
They've conceded it.
1 off 1.
1 off 1.
Scores are level. Scores are level. What do they do now? The fielders are looking like they want to come up inside the circle.
Now you bring them in. Sorry, I thought that was the last ball.
No. They said the scores are level here. 1 delivery left. Malone, after his great bowling performance, has come in and made 20.
You know what I'd be doing, honestly? Bat pad and a silly mid on, like literally get them under the lid. get two under the lid there and make them earn it, because a block isn't going to help if you've got someone that's only less than 6 foot from the bat. Get them under the lid. If you need to stop the run, get them under it.
Well,
what's the worst thing's going to happen?
Well, we can say there is a little bit of discrepancy here between the scoreboard and Play HQ. As I said, Play HQ's got McKelder 52 not out off 47, Malone 19 not out off 11. But here it is, final delivery. Noonan to Malone. It's just blocked. There's nobody next to the stumps. Malone gets through for the single. Sydney University denied the fairy tale finish, and they will be playing either Gordon or the Sydney Tigers next Sunday to win that Kingsgrove Sports Centre T20 Cup. What a finish! Blacktown Mounties, they are dismayed. They're in the middle of the pitch. That game just slips out of their fingers, but University, they've played so much of this finals cricket, their experience taking a field here, and they will be playing either Sydney Tigers or Gordon next Sunday for the big one. But Shane Evans, Kiwi Mick Reinish, what a finish we've seen here this afternoon.
Unbelievable stuff, isn't it? Malone, ice cold. What a bowling performance, and to stick in there and get 21 of the most hard-earned runs you could get. You'd see the relief when Sydney University won that. Jumping around, the crowd is on their feet. They'll be singing all night long. But McElduff outstanding. They scrapped and they just hung in there and eventually won off the last ball. Tell you what, everyone's going to sleep well tonight, including us. This is great cricket. Our last baller in a Thunder final, and they've won it for 2 years in a row, this Thunder Conference final. Malone man of the match for me, McElduff runner-up.
Yeah, and you've got to pay as well to Blatherick. He got that 50 to get them even something to defend, but at the end of the day, he ended up 45 off his 4 overs. You would have thought maybe something went the opposite way, then maybe Blacktown could have kept that fairy tale alive, but unfortunately that finals experience for the students has come to play, and what a performance here. Blacktown Mounties clapping off the 2 batters.
That's a nice touch. You don't normally see that in grade cricket, but to sit there and acknowledge that McElduff's innings has saved their backside, because the rest of the side didn't step up to where they should be, and you having to have a 5 and a 9 come in to save your bacon and get you through. But to Ryan McElduff, mate, you have batted really well there, but fairy tale fell 1 run short. Unfortunately for the Blacktown Mounties, they could have got 1 run or 2 runs more. They would have been there, but we'll quickly go across to Chatswood Oval. The game is still currently in progress over there. We're inside the last couple of overs for the run chase for Gordon. Sydney batting first, respectable 7 for 164. Gordon currently 5 for 140 after 17.4, needing 25 runs off 14 deliveries. Can it happen? There's a very good chance it can. You have Wright and Doshi at the pitch at the moment. Once again, they are playing fairly close to the grandstand side of Chatswood Oval. For anyone that's been there, it is not a long hit if you are batting that way. But for anyone that does want to see the vision, KO Sports apparently does have their link up and running to be able to watch it.
Well, we'll see if we can maybe give an update before we go off the air if that game has come to a conclusion. But we'll go through the tail of the tape. We'll go through a tail of the tape here. We do thank everybody that's listening through through the Cricket New South Wales YouTube, through Frogbox. As I said, a big number there I've just been shown. As I said, we thank you all for following along for what has been a remarkable finish to this game. And also for those listening on 100.1 FM, as well as our sports stream, sports.hhfm.com.au. We thank you for your listenership this afternoon. But we go through this Sydney University batting scorecard, and boy, 7 for 138, chasing 137. Final delivery. Charlie Dummer, he came out firing 28 off 16 with 6 fours. He was caught by Raval off the bowling of Blatherick. Dylan Hunter, he fell cheaply. He was caught behind by Di Bartolo off the bowling of Noonan. He had some wheels, didn't he? 4 off 4 for Hunter. Mortimer, he also fell cheaply, bowled by Blatherick, 2 off 4. Charles Litfield, he looked like he was going to hang around for a little while. Unfortunately, though, he was the first of the victims by the left-arm spin of Gore. 14 off 21 with 1-4. Ryan McEldriff. We'll go by what Play HQ is telling us. The scoreboard, I think, was out by 1 or 2 at the end there, but he finishes 52 off 47. 2 fours, 1 6. I think we said quite early on he needed to bat through this innings if the students were going to get the job done. Tim Cummins, we thought he was going to come in and get his team home, but he just tried to scoop the first ball. All he could do was scoop it straight to Di Bartolo behind the stumps. That was Gore's second wicket. Golden duck for him. Jordan Gauchi, he was run out by the keeper there where we thought it was the stumping. 4 off 9. Maladay, that run out from Singh from the boundary. Yeah. What an effort there. I think if they were able to do the fairy tale, that would be a piece that would come around and show that that would be one of the big turning points. And Malone, boy, 20 not out off 12. The hero, 2 boundaries to him. He hit the winning runs. He was almost chaired off here. Boy, what a performance it was from him. He was Kiwi mixed man of the match. There were 7 extras, 4 wides, 2 no balls, 1 leg by, 7 for 138. The bowling figures for Blacktown Mounties. Blatherick, he did the job with the bat, but he finished 4 overs, 2 for 45. Noonan, 4 overs, 1 for 21. Butler, 2 overs, none for 16. Gore, what an effort with his left arm orthodox. 4 overs, 2 for 8. Souter, 4 overs, none for 34. And Raval, 13 off his 2 deliveries. So, gentlemen, we know we will be somewhere next Sunday here on Triple H 100.1 FM and the Triple H Sports Stream. We are waiting with bated breath to see the result of that game at Chatswood Oval. But Kiwi Mick, what a game. As I said, T20 can deliver and promise so much, and sometimes it just gives you a busted one. But boy, with this game, it delivered everything. And to have that fairy tale in there until the final ball and then taken away from us. Blacktown Mounties need to hold their heads high. Boy, it was a brilliant performance from them. But as I said, the students' experience in these high-pressure games just proved just a little bit too much to get them across the line. Yeah, and 2 key players there at the end. McElduff and Malone holding their nerve. Blacktown Mounties were really had strangled them. I thought they were looking like they were going to win with Gore bowling that great spin, doing the victory arm salute like they pretty much had it done. They pretty much got enough wickets really to win the game. Bit of a sort of a low to mid scoring derby, but a great finals game. We have called a couple of blowouts this year this season with Triple H, but that was right up there. Sometimes these sort of finals, the Thunder or Sixers final can pull out the best game. But yeah, brilliant stuff by Malone as bowling, and you got to give it to Puru Gore though. 4 overs, 2 for 8. Wow, and he got a run out in amongst that when he was bowling as well. And Blatherwick batted so great, but Sydney University, Tim Cummins got a golden duck and they still won. And also you got to remember as well for Sydney University, Hunter and Mortimer, who fired in their semi-final, both getting 50s, didn't fire today, but they still won. They had other batters do the job, so you got to give it to them for being an all-round team. You're not relying on 1 or 2 players, which some teams can do in 2020 with their batting. Oh, 100%. It was, as I said, I think both teams probably deserve to be able to take the win here today. Unfortunately for Blacktown Mounties, it will be Sydney University that will move on to the Kingsgrove Sports Centre T20 Cup final, representing the Sydney Thunder next Sunday. Venue TBA. Obviously, it is depending on that game at Chatswood. I'm assuming I can tell you that we are in the 19th over. We have 8 balls remaining. Doshi has just been bowled by Glenn Denning. They are 6 for 146, needing 18 off 8. Wow. If Sydney Tigers were to get up,
from doing my calculations, looking at ladders and all of that,
We'd be back here, wouldn't we?
we would have the lovely gentleman from Sydney University who's sitting right behind us at the moment.
Wanting us to go home,
No,
probably.
We'll be happy to find out that we will be here next week unless my
I'd
calculations
say-
are incorrect.
Yeah, well, I know the Tigers, they were the ones who upsetted St. George, so... they were coming from 4th, I believe. So yeah,
The higher placing at the moment, I
Is
believe,
here.
would be Uni. So we will be here next Sunday afternoon for that game.
Well, as I said, we do thank them. We might try and stick around for another couple of minutes, if that's okay, just to see if we can find out who the winner of that match will be. But
It is now 6 for 148 with 7 balls remaining, so needing 17 off 7. You currently have Cook on 2 and Wright on 18. Quickly through the bowling for the Sydney club. Glendenning is in his 3rd over, has taken a wicket. Nick Bills, good friend to him here at Triple H, he's taken
$1.
He's taken 2 wickets in his 2 overs. Harry Menente's taken 1 wicket in his 3. And there's also been a couple of run-outs, which were the ones of Crawford and Mackay. Mackay currently a top scorer for Gordon with 55, not out at the moment. So, but yeah, so that we're looking at coming into the last over now as we speak. Gordon going in with 1 over remaining, 6 for 152. They need 13 off the last over.
well, they got 4 off that last delivery there.
They definitely did go into Cook scoring a 4. But we do have to once again thank Roy Formica, the competitions director at Cricket New South Wales, for allowing us to be able to call games like this, and also to Sydney Uni for giving us the opportunity, but also this spacious area to be able to call.
Well said, me and Mick have had it twice in a row now, and we might see if we can do a deal and we can just come back here. I think this is probably one of the best places to call from in the...
At least we're not in the sun too.
Yeah, it's
But
probably
no.
one of the best places to call from here in
Yep.
the...
Okay, so they've just got a single off the first delivery to make it that they now need 12 off 5.
oh, it's going to come down to it, but...
It's going to almost literally be the same as here.
Both good finals though. It's good.
Well, said that's what you want to see. I
Yep.
said we've seen a few blowouts. We saw a bit of a blowout in that Thunder game at Hobart.
We've also seen the blowout in the Thunder game a few weeks ago.
Well, Ollie Davies, friend of the show, he's playing well for the Thunder.
No,
It's a
I'm
shame
referring
about
to-
the other 10.
Yeah, the striker, that Strikers game, that was a little bit embarrassing, that game where they got rolled 15, and then now every time that they play, you hear... Once they
Just
get past
quickly, guys, we might be having a special guest quickly join us for a quick interview. Tim Cummins, possibly. So
Oh, great
Oh,
can we
stuff.
more-
stay on air
more
for a
than-
bit longer?
more than happy
Certainly
for
we
him.
can.
Yep.
If Tim
More-
wants to come and have a chat, we can get him in with the effects
Yeah.
mic. So
We'll change the effects.
Most probably, anyway. Well, hopefully.
We'll-
So just
we'll,
hold the space.
we'll definitely bring him on. But as I said, we did want to hang around until at least until the end of this game at Chatswood Oval. But as I said, another one, Kiwi Mick, where it could have been such the big fairy tale for Blacktown Mounties, what they've been through the last couple of years, and the pandemic. Obviously, they would have thought that the partnership with Mounties would have been a much needed injection into the club, but the pandemic meant that didn't happen. But now, as I said, it'll be buoyed because, as I said, when you're at the bottom of the Belvedere Cup, it's hard to attract players to your club. It's hard to get what you need to be able to pull that way up the ladder. You need to look internally, and to put performances like this on the board, it turns you into a place that people want to come to.
Yeah, and you could see that team spirit there out there. Their fielding was sharp and they worked together. Quite a multicultural team as well, Blacktown Mounties. They've got all different sort of players from all sort of different nationalities, which is great. You know, that's awesome. And, you know, a lot of their fans here. So, great stuff. And, yeah, they'll be proud of their efforts. They left everything out there, didn't they?
They certainly did, but it looks like we have got our special guest. We will give you...
Just a quick score
Yeah.
whilst we do get our special guest online. We can tell you that Cook has just been run out
Oh,
in the game out at Chatswood Oval. There are 4 balls remaining. Gordon are 7 for 154. They need 10 off 4. Parsons has just come to the crease, and Wright is 19 not out. But we better get this special guest on board. It's only one person I could possibly think of, so I am hoping it is Wright. So if we want to introduce him, we are talking about the better half of the Cummins family. We do have the Sydney Uni captain, and Tim Cummins has politely come to join us. Tim, first of all, congratulations. Must have been an absolute heart-stopper down there watching it from the sidelines.
Yeah, I feel like I lost a few years. It was ridiculous. So, everyone there was a few runs to the toilet. Everyone's eyes peeled, like closing their eyes. It was unbelievable. So, I think CricViz has about 1% at one point. So, unbelievable. So, I think Ryan McElduff will be turning to Michael Bevan later tonight.
Well, Kiwi does have his version of the cricket whiz, and literally got to the last over, and we asked him the question. He had G's at 59, 49 to Blacktown, 1% on the super over, which literally it almost got down to. I can imagine what the messages you would have been having the guys run out to Ryan, and for that last over was pretty much just get the runs and don't do anything stupid. Something similar?
Pretty well. Sometimes the best people out there are the ones out there, and certainly in 2020, I think the part of it is actually not overthinking it and just watching and hitting the ball. It's quite easy to sort of try and work on, and problem solve out there, but you don't actually really want to overthink it. So and I mean Ryan and Dev were going great guns at that point. So they just see ball, hit ball, and worked out well.
Yeah, well, what did you feel like 7 down? Devlin coming in, obviously a great knock, 20 off 11, I think he ended up. But yeah, generally you're hoping in these sort of games your number 9 doesn't have to be the one to get you across the line. But we saw the outpour of everybody when he hit that single off the last ball. You can tell he's one of the guys that everybody in the club gets around, and everybody would have been stoked, as much as the win, but for Devlin himself to be able to hit that winning run.
Oh, absolutely. So he about only last week he hit 6 in the last over and went a long way to winning a tight game. And he was all week he was talking about how the RPA worried about the emergency wall there, and the ball was still bouncing through there, and he reckons he had to take his bat to the RPA at one point because it's all stitched up, and follow the ball there. And anyway, so he had a few tickets on himself, and he absolutely delivered. So he's won. Him and McElduff have won a lot of tight games, and love having him in the team. And
Just quickly before the next question, there has been another wicket fall out at Gordon, 8 for 157, 3 balls remaining, 8 runs needed. But back to you guys having a chat to Tim.
Yeah, just quickly, Tim, of course you won the Thunder final last season as well, and you came here and Randy Pates beat you in a low-scoring match. So this week, moving forward, what will you guys learn from that? You've been there, done that last year and fell short in the whole competition sort of winner. What will you guys learn from that? And that was a very low-scoring match.
Yeah, so it was a bit slow and low, that game. The pitch there on the Silvers on the afternoon on Sunday, which was like this, where they didn't leave as much grass on the Saturday, and so it was a bit slower and lower, and a bit like that, spinners sort of dominated. And in saying that, we've really tried to, the last couple of years, go up the risk curve and take on more risks in the hope to try and score 160 most games. And that obviously comes with its own risks as well, and so probably 1 in every 6 or 7 you're going to get skittled a bit, but you can also win a lot more games. So I think probably if we learn anything, if we get similar kind of conditions through spin, still be proactive. But it's actually one of those pitches where it's really hard to cut. There are a few chop-ons, few sort of those diagonal bats. So when you cut it, you got to get your body weight low. Those kind of things is probably something through spin from over 6 to 16. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think we saw with both teams today, there was the spin options, and you guys obviously being your home ground, that they were able to use the conditions well, and they know the conditions, which is great. And then I think maybe Blacktown probably went a little bit late to their spinners as well. You saw them take the pace through the whole of the power play, and then maybe just missed a trick maybe if they didn't go to the spinners maybe just that over or two earlier, and probably let you guys get off to a bit better of a start.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know their bowlers too well, but I guess they probably thought, did they get 4 in the power play to home and hose? They had 3, so maybe they thought they'd push that, and that's probably fair enough at the time. So, and then they had spin through the middle, which was pretty successful. So, yeah, you're right. Maybe they're looking back, but at the same time, when you're sort of there and they're going, the Quicks have done well, and they're 3 down in the 4th over. Can we get a 4th? You know, you're going to win most games if you win 4 in the power play. So they pushed it, and actually, to be fair, those last 2 overs in the power play only went for about 3 or 4 runs as well. So you can understand their thinking, but you know, probably as well, it's always tricky. You need certain bowlers to bowl in the power play, mainly into the wicket. So yeah, it's tricky, absolutely. But spin was definitely on top today.
Unless something drastically bad happens up at Chatswood, we're coming back here next Sunday. They've just lost their 9th wicket. They need 6. They need 6 to tie or 7 off 1 ball.
Oh.
1 ball.
What if they bowl a no ball, eh?
That's
Free hit.
Yeah, but something has to be bad enough to happen. But you could almost sit there and say we're back here for a Gordon Sydney Uni game, and to be honest,
Sydney Tigers.
Sydney Tigers. That's going to be a humdinger. But if somehow Gordon get up.
Well, yeah, well, I said, we'll assume, seeing what's going on there, that it will be the Tigers next week. As I said, the Tigers is a team that obviously a lot of people know, a lot of players that have played for a long period of time with Harry Manenti, Nick Bills, it just goes on and on and on, Glenn Denning. We can go on and on and on. It's not like the Blacktown side, which are a bit unknown. As said, they're coming, I won't say out of nowhere, but as I said, we have been calling them the fairy tale side of the Thunder Conference. But will that help next week that you've probably played a lot of cricket against a lot of their big known players, and you can plan well for that throughout the week and have your fields ready to go and your bowler matchups ready to go for them next Sunday?
Yeah, you're probably right, actually. It's funny, the Blacktown, you knew they were a good team like that. Leatherwicks obviously played a fair bit of county cricket. Souther's played a lot, and then also and then even the Raval's leading wicket taker, and Noonan's come down, bowls like those slingy guys tend to do well in T20.
Yeah.
So they would be right. They're a bit of unknown. Where Sydney a bit more known capacity. So you're right. You'll know a bit more about them, how to approach, and strategise around that.
Noonan out there did have a bit of pace. We were saying we reckon about 130, 135. Would you have said around about that speed? He looked pretty quick.
Yeah, it depends on the TV. I reckon there's about 10% of the TV gives you. So
what about frog box?
Hey, it looked fast on the frog box.
No, he's quick. I know he's been doing a few things at the in the Sixers nets there as well. He's had a few bowls for them because he's definitely, those guys hard to get under. But yeah, I would say mid 130s, absolutely, on what you'd see on TV.
But we can also now confirm the final will be here. Gordon have fallen 2 runs short.
Wow.
Of chasing down Sydney's 7 for 164, 9 for 162 after their 20 overs. So it will be a Sydney University hosting Sydney Tigers here next Sunday afternoon.
Hopefully you haven't got a double booking.
At 2:30.
They might have to move, but no. Any more questions, guys? Do you guys know?
Nope.
But mate, no. All we can say is, Tim, thank you very much for coming up and speaking to us. We wish you the best of luck for next week. We will be doing all our best to come back here. Hopefully, we don't have to fight the KO guys too much. We can live in. We can have some harmony here, like we did last year. But as I said, you guys have been there, done that last year. It's going to be a cracker against the Sydney Tigers. We wish you all the best.
Thanks a lot. Cheers, guys.
Thanks very much, Tim. I think that brings us to the end of our coverage here on Triple H 100.1 FM. We know where we'll be next week. We'll be back here for that Uni versus Tigers game, and it's going to be an absolutely huge one. Make sure you stay tuned to our social media, Triple H Sport, Facebook, Twitter, all that jazz to find out where for times, etc. Kiwi Mick, it's been a great day, a great interview with Tim. We thank him for coming up. We thank everybody that's made this possible. And boy, this is the days we love calling and we love cricket.
Oh, I've missed this stuff, that's for sure. And just to have a cracker when it really counts at the end of the season in the Thunder final. Going to be a heck of a game next Sunday as well. So let's do it all again. And great stuff.
Shane Evans, great to have you back here on the call team. I know you'll be back here with us on Sunday and curtailing some plans because you know how big of a day this will be for us. So we thank you for that. And yeah, it's been another great day, another great game of cricket. Unfortunately, we didn't see the fairy tale come up, but boy, we were teased for 20 overs, weren't we? That it was certainly possible the whole way.
It definitely was there. Okay, given that Blacktown Mounties in the normal one-day comp and the Belvedere Cup at the moment are down towards the bottom of the ladder. But you have to remember, it's a T20 game. Anything can happen. Like we were discussing up here, we've seen the Sydney Thunder being rolled for 15 in a game. Who would have thought that you'd see a professional team of cricketers do that? Yet, we've been able to see a Blacktown Mounties side who, in both competitions, is running fairly low towards the bottom of the ladder. Probably the morale isn't the best, same as what Tim was saying in regards to being able to draw bigger talent to your clubs when you're not having that type of success. But for them to come out here and to go within one run of making a final and pocketing at least $6,000 running as the runners-up could have been possible.
Because there's 12, 6, and then 1,000 each for making this.
1,000 or 1,500, yeah.
For the losers of this game, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So they still get something out of it.
20 grand, I think, prize money, yeah.
But the fact is that if they had got one or two more runs, they're probably sitting there knowing that they're then going to be making their way to would have been going to Des Moines next week to be playing.
Yeah, Blacktown Mounties would have had to go to Des Moines. Yeah, that's all the permutations that were still going through. That's how crazy this competition is.
Yeah, so for all the listeners thinking like, oh yeah, we knew exactly what it was. Trust me, we didn't know. Like, as soon as we knew our game that we called had finished, we were then waiting to see who won. If Gordon won, Gordon would have a very good chance they would have hosted, because their positions on the ladders were similar. I think there may have been half or 1 percentage point in quotient that would have changed it, but that was in the Gordon favour. But since Gordon were beaten, you got Sydney Tigers coming from third or fourth in their conference. They have to make the trip out here. But then again, you look at it next week, where you're going to have Nick Bills, you're going to have Harry Manenti, you're going to have all the stars back that can be. Don't be surprised unless the Sixers have a game.
They play Saturday night.
Yeah. Unless they decide to be really mean and hold Hayden Kerr.
I don't think you'll see Hayden Kerr. As said, he would have played the night before in the Sydney Smash.
If it's Sydney Smash, okay, yeah, fair enough. It wouldn't be. But if it wasn't a game that wasn't of high importance, you may release him back, like they did for most of their players for the one-day games yesterday, where we saw Mickey Edwards and
they're the
Jack
reserve
Edwards
players.
were able to come back and play for
they're the
their
reserve
clubs.
players. They haven't been playing. Hayden Kerr's a staple in that Sixers side. But no, thank you, Shane Evans. It was great to have you back on the coverage. Thank you as well to Kiwi Mick Reinish. For the team, I am the wise man, Matt Mears. If you have been listening through Frogbox, thank you very much. If you enjoy what you've heard and you want to hear more from us, we do cover these games fairly regularly throughout the summer, as well as calling rugby league throughout the winter. So give us a follow, Triple H Sport, Facebook, Twitter. You'll be able to keep abreast of where we are.
If they're keen on call, if they want to learn how to call games with us, feel free to shoot us a message. Also at sports@triplehfm.com.au. We are more than happy to take down that path to, if you're keen on learning how to be able to call games alongside us, or you want to come and give some time if you're one of the players from the clubs not involved, we're more than happy to have you here as a guest commentator for games.
Certainly we are, but yeah, we thank you for your tuning in on Frogbox. We thank you for listening on the Triple H Sports stream and on 100.1 FM. But for the team, I am the wise man. Thank you very much for listening. We'll be back next Sunday here again from University Oval just before 2:30 p.m. Bye for now. Wow. They threw. Seagull, can you comment? You're like, yes.
Yeah, because the guy normally got you can make it like 1 second.
Yeah. No, we're off it, so mate. So you're good. Yeah, we're just talking to our producer. So yeah, mate. Thank you so much.
That's alright. What a game.
What a game. What a finish. What a everything. Yeah, mate. You're right.
Thanks again, Andrew. I don't know if you saw that. Talk about an heart stopper. Yeah. Oh, mate.
Both games were the same.
Yeah, we were watching the other one.
The game that never asked.
Yeah, we were